I'd like to show you something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Well. Happy Friday evening, afternoon, morning, maybe in the future, Wednesday, whenever you are. Welcome to the 112th episode of Toxic Tuesday. You get a very, very escorting view to kick things off. How are you all doing tonight? Nice to see a lot of faces here already. That's what I love to see. So, yes, tonight is part 5 of the Bond edition, the Roger Moore special. Next year we'll probably have a flurry of them because we're not going to do Octopussy and the View to Kill this year, as we're going to be transitioning to the season, the festivities per se. But we're going to definitely do those along with the Dalton flicks next year. So that will happen. We'll probably throw in on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So it's going to be you're at 3 Bonds next year, basically. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, see, you already know the plan ahead in advance. So, yeah, we want to get a little festive because then we're going to take the 26th off because that's the day after Christmas. And then we're coming with a giant bang for January 2nd. Trust me when I say this is going to be the hugest bang that ever banged. So, how are you all doing? Let's see some faces here. Putin's Cat, Empress NM, Joe's Atmosphere, Radioactive. How are you? Vulcan Lives, who I think has Alpha Core copy or is about to. How you doing, sir? Yaknamano, hello. The Angry Gamer, Stuart Mitchell, Mr. Zenon 1993, The Gilkman, Davina Duckworth, Kendon Bronner, Kingsport Cal. What's up, Kingsport Cal? Nice to see you here. Wonky Man, Poe Baby 74, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours. I actually have not drank one bit of alcohol. Not one. Super serious, by the way. Super serious. And let's see who else is. Darth Viewer. What's up, Darth Viewer? Keely Chow. How you all doing? And welcome to the show. And right away, we got the Guilt Man with $9.99. Thank you, Thomas. How you doing, sir? Says, hail, I got to meet Julian Glover, a.k.a. Aris Christados in this film. I may butcher that name again. I always do. In this film, a few years ago, I asked him about what it was like being in this film, and I got a signed picture of him as Aris Pure Gentleman. That's fucking awesome, dude. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, Thomas. That's badass. Thanks for the super chat, boy. Getting the show kicking, hitting the ground running with that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we had earlier, Mr. Bull Rush. He re-upgraded his membership. Well, thank you for rejoining, sir. If you ever got a downgrade or things get tight, we're always going to be here. But I do appreciate you rejoining as a huge member. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Bull Rush. All right. Let's bring in our dudes here. How's it going, Dustin?
It's tight.
Oh, let's get this shit started.
I fucking hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fucking great, man. I'm glad to be here. How are you, brother?
I'm good. Happy to be here as well. I've had a busy Tuesday. Work
Yeah.
did 2 videos and getting set up for Friday. So and a lot of busy stuff at home. So it's very busy in every sense of the word. But wouldn't have it any other way. I'm the first one up in the morning and last one up in the evening. So it's how the story goes.
That's what we do. We make it
That's
work.
right. Mm-hmm. Facts. All right. Let's bring on the Brewski, Mr. Bruce Lombardo. I like that name for the Brewski. I just came up with that right now. We gotta run with that now. That I'm not gonna. I'm gonna brag because everyone says not to brag. I'm fucking bragging. I like the name that we gave you.
I appreciate that. It is no longer November. The mustache will be getting shaved here shortly, and it looks like the beer tap is on again. So we will be having a good time. Plus, the local Specs liquor store had these on special, so I could not pass that up.
Nice. Enjoy that beer. That's a huge glass, dude. Sounds like you're gonna have a delightful night. Hey, thank
It'll be
you for
great.
being here with your delicious looking beer. I hope you get moderately hammered, if not super hammered. So
No,
your
no,
bed.
no. I just want to ride because my hands have been giving me a little bit of pain here and there. That's the only reason why I drink. Just for
Want to
like a
loosen the
sporadic.
handy. You want
Oh
to
yeah,
loosen the
like
handy.
it hurts. Like it's too much. The ketamine's there.
All in a day's work.
No, I
Your
appreciate
only
you being
hand.
here, sir.
Thank you.
I love seeing the giant glass in your hand. And of course, the man who gives us visual pleasure. How are you, Mark D with a C?
Oh, doing awesome, doing awesome. My daughter came back today for a job interview, which is funny. She moved to New York City and she's interviewing for a job near my house, which is funny. So hopefully she gets it, but then she'll have to be doing a reverse commute. We were just laughing about that, but yeah, doing great. This, I always enjoy Roger Moore's Bond. I know some people don't like Roger Moore, which is fine, but yeah, there's some good. At the very least, the stunts are pretty awesome in this movie. You know, if you don't. If more is not your cup of tea, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun surprises tonight, I think. So looking forward to it and hanging out with you guys. And I've been yeah, I guess. Well, this is the last Moore movie we're doing for a while, right? Yep.
Yes, until
Yeah,
next
yeah,
fall.
yeah. No more. Okay,
No more. And then next year we're going to a flurry of bonds. It's just gonna be
that's awesome.
it's just gonna be dudes
But
galore.
no blondes.
No blondes.
There we go. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, oh god, nope. No soy here detected. No soy detected. Before I bring in our other dudes, I'm trying to upload this damn comment here. Oh, you bastard. Here we go. All right. If you see, we have a member in our chat. He's a member of the channel. Kendon Bronner has got a situation going on in his life. You can click on this link and for the details, it's very unfortunate. So if anyone's got a buck or even they just want to share it, let's help our man out. At the very minimum, at least put some awareness out there. Kendon Bronner's a good guy, frequent supporter of the channel, and good guy. And I hope everything turns around for him. So this is his link. If you would so kindly at least check it out. And if not, at least share it. Thank you. And yeah, Kendon, remind me towards the end of the show. I'll share it again, man. All right. Let's bring in our other dude. Our red shirt. The red shirt. Just another red shirt. How are you?
I'm good. But I just want to say, Nick, you can transition your channel any way you want, anytime you want. And I just want to go on record with everybody here in the chat and on the panel. I am not transitioning. And I am looking forward to talking about this film. This is a fun Bond film.
That was an incredible way of just straight up breaking the ice. I appreciate you, Red Shirt, for your transparency and your honesty throughout all this debauchery, sir. All right. 70s will not be with us tonight, unfortunately, and he's got family in town, and he's gonna enjoy his family time. I don't know where Backdoor Gerry is. Well, he's probably getting lube or something going.
He
I
said
don't
he was
know.
coming.
I know. I maybe something's going on with technology, but I hope he comes. I want him to come. So please, everyone, slam his DMs and tell him you want him to come, and maybe he'll come sooner for all of you. It's the least he can do for all of us.
Just not too soon, though.
Just not too soon, though. We gotta make sure it's mature enough and not be premature. But we got two dudes waiting in the back door. It's not Gary's back door, by the way. One is a very welcome return to the show. You've seen on the Legion of Memers. And Mr. CJP, how are you doing? Welcome back to Toxic Tuesday.
Well, I thank you for letting me back on. I'm doing as my grandpa would say, fair to Midland. Where Midland was and why it was fair to be there. But no, I'm glad to be back. Always, I'm always down to talk Bond. And if anyone see my channel, I've got almost nothing but Bond coming out my musical ears.
We'll have to have you on several times next year then. Several.
I've been doing nothing but using the GoldenEye sound fonts for the last, about a year and a half now, and I've just been having a blast with it.
Oh, that's glorious, dude. That's motherfucking glorious. Well, happy you're here, man. Happy you could join us to talk Bond. I think we're having a great conversation tonight, and make sure you don't hold back on letting loose tonight, because it's gonna get ridiculous in here. I'm sure you can already feel the aroma of homoeroticness.
We never go overboard.
I'm on Dermy Wormy's channel every Friday night. This is tame.
This is
oh, we just got backdoored.
And you
challenge
just said the show
accepted.
Was tame, and now you have Backdoor Gerry arriving. Gary's gonna take that very personal. He's gonna challenge that tonight. All right, homoeroticness will rise. All right, let's bring in for the very first time ever, Mr. CC Karaoke, who I listened to on Friday nights before I passed out after my comic show. How are you?
Thrilled to be here. Thanks for the invitation, glad to provide some Canadian content since 70s rock fan can't be here with his sheep this evening.
Right. The man and his sheep couldn't even be bothered to show up here. I get it.
Mr. Karaoke, do you have a shaved pate, my friend?
In my head?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm very much bald.
Okay. So
I just cover up my baldness with a hat. I used to have a beard like Dustin has, maybe not quite that huge, but now I can't do that anymore either. So I'm just a bald Canadian.
A bald dude. That's radical, man. I'm glad you could join us, man. And I know you've chimed in. It seems like you know your Bond, and it's like
I
it
do
only made sense.
I grew up with those TBS marathons, and not just over Thanksgiving, but every time they ever ran them, every time it was ever on TV, I'd watch it again and again and again. And Roger Moore was my entry port, my backdoor entry.
Oh, he was your entry. Oh, was he?
He was my first.
He was your backdoor way.
He'll always have a special place in my heart for that reason. I quite enjoy his movies and some of the ridiculousness of his movies.
I enjoy something else. I was like, whoa. Were you just really just gasping at the
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Something like that.
That's the biggest cock I've ever seen on a woman.
Oh, dude. The one damn good line, and they put in the freaking trailer. That pissed me off because that was a good line. Bastards.
Should have followed up on that whole gag.
I know. Cece, thanks for joining us. I look forward to hearing what you have to say, what homoerotic greatness you bring to the show. And then the man who will take being second place of the backdoorness personally. And also as a comic coming out too. That will vindicate him of all things.
If you guys can share that link out for the campaign.
Put it in the private chat, and then we will post it in your privates. I mean, in the comments.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Any time to talk about Bond. I was busy doing artwork, and I had a meeting with one of our big supporters for Don Eckers and my show on Monday on KGRA, and I'm drawing and talking to him, and I went, "Oh fuck, I need to get over to Nick Weiser's show." I didn't realize our time went by so quickly today.
That's
plus
good.
I
That
enjoyed
means things are
watching you
going
guys.
good.
I enjoyed watching you guys today over on Midnight's Edge, and that was fun. That was a fun show tonight. You guys did.
The
That's
guys
all I'm going
were-
to say.
Some,
Fuck
some
off.
of them, some of them were in grieving over their Doctor Who, which I totally can understand. So
I gave up after Capaldi. I gave up during Capaldi because as much as I loved him,
Wow.
the writing was so bad that season.
Once they
Moffat
kicked off the
couldn't
little
do it.
cute blonde or cute brunette, I was done.
She got
Well,
too
Peter
prominent.
Capaldi, yeah, just quickly, Peter Capaldi was the biggest waste of talent that Doctor Who's ever had.
Absolutely. He could have been one of the greatest doctors, and they just ruined it. Ruined it, Brian. Ruined. And Brian's not here, so that was a wasted joke.
I know, Brian. He's not here. He's with family, and that's why we gotta really step up. We got a Canadian here to step up for the Canadian representation, and we have Gary, who's gonna be double the homoerotic to make up for 70s' lack of sheeping presence.
I'm pretty gay. And I told you, somebody said to me, you make a lot of gay references and jokes for somebody who's not gay. And I went, oh, really? Prove it. Prove I'm not gay. You have no idea some of the weird shit I did in college.
Hey, what's up, Steve? Oh, dude. All right. Let's see. Do you got ready, Mr. Mark? Or
Yes,
do
I
you
do.
need
I've
it?
got it ready. Yep.
All right. Let's
roll.
transition. I know Red Shirt doesn't want to, but well, you're coming with us. Dead or
We'll try
alive,
to
you're
cover
coming
that up.
with us. Oh,
Dead or alive.
you're coming.
It's hard
with
not
us.
to.
And you know when you do
by
these
the way, the
shows,
link
you-
to the campaign is back there, Mark.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll
in the
grab
private
that
chat.
too. Yep,
Thank
yep.
you. Thank you. All
And then
right.
a little bit of trivia on the outfit there. I guess she's just wearing the bathing suit the wrong way. That's how they get so much cheek there. I was like, in the things
if
you
you're
learn,
going in
you
the
know.
back, you might as well have it on backwards.
Italian ones.
Or Brazilian. Dental floss with a couple of half handkerchiefs.
And that outfit made a lot. There was a lot of controversy over that outfit too. The people were airbrushing it, and in the States here, they didn't want to show it. And today that's like, oh wow, who cares?
It's rather modest,
right?
Man,
Did it-
I'm trying to understand what controversy. It's just I don't know. Just
well, it
seems
was
like
too
normal to me.
hot, too much products.
I
Yep.
see.
So-
Okay, so that's where
That was an 81. Did we have thongs back then? I don't remember. don't think we
I
did.
wouldn't know. I never when were these invented? I should know. So when Mark asks, I have a good direct answer.
It's some really high cut bathing suits back in the 80s, but
Yeah, Mark, they did, but I didn't know any girls that had one. Damn it.
Okay.
But you knew dudes who did though, right?
Oh yeah, Speedos.
So okay.
Oh, here's the tie into Teresa
So-
Vaughn. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That is where I now this could be me choosing to be ignorant. I always had this weird thought in my head. I could be factually incorrect in this, but I always feel like this movie, as far as the timeline of all those movies, this had to have been one of the earlier ones, considering the fact that he was grieving Teresa Bond. Whereas unlike the last two Bond movies, you see him with a girl as you see Moneypenny's trying to reach him. She usually has an on the nose pun about what he's about to do. But this time around, he's not doing that. This time he's grieving. So I'm like, I wonder if this is like a moment where the loss is still more fresh on his mind rather than years later where I guess you could say he's a bit more past it.
I think this is an anniversary with him, which is why Blofeld knows he'll be there.
Yep.
Once a year, he goes and puts a dozen roses on her grave on the
That's
date of
right.
her death.
The 69 movie is one of my favorites, so I appreciate that. But I also kind of like that they're using Blofeld here as like they're moving on.
Yep.
That that story's told. They're closing the door on it. We don't see him again until you count the new movies, you know.
Yes. Okay. No, that good perspective to see. But
And there's also that controversy over Thunderball. They couldn't name him because Kevin McClory wrote the screenplay for Thunderball with Ian Fleming and someone else. And when he found out that Fleming was producing a book called Thunderball, he sued. It was a big court case. So that's how he's got the rights to Blofeld and Thunderball. That's why you got Never Say Never Again, and he kept trying to make another movie. So he had some of the rights to Bond throughout that. So that's why they never name him in this, even though they were arguing, yeah, we could really use it, but they also part of it too is like, F him, we're going to kill off Blofeld. We don't need him anymore. So, and then eventually the estate settled after he passed away. So
we'll just say not Blofeld. Just keep it simpler. Not Blofeld. Yeah, not Blofeld. Yeah. Kind of like when I saw The Suicide Squad and they have Bloodsport. I'm like, okay, so basically he's just not Deadshot. So that's what we're going for here. Not Blofeld.
I'm just calling my cycloptic colleague.
I love this opener though, even though I'll admit I'm not as crazy about the music this time around. It seems like a lot of people really like it, and hey, that's great for me. I don't really jive with the soundtrack, even though I do like the opening credits. But I love this opener as far as the action goes, because the last two were hinging on the chases. This time it was Bond on feet. And I think it was also a way of letting you know, hey, we're coming back to Earth this time around, and we're keeping his foot to the ground this time. And so now, even though he's not in space, he's on air, but he's on Earth. And this is definitely him working with a very pure Bond mission now. This isn't him reaching for the stars this time around. This is Bond being more straightforward, traditional spy movie Bond, really.
Yeah, this is a straight throwback to Connery and the On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I mean, this is pulling back and saying, remember where this guy came from and his background and his backstory.
That's what I got out of it.
Return to his roots.
I hated the music here.
Yeah,
it's not John Barry, and anytime you watch a Bond movie that doesn't have John Barry, or at least David Arnold pretending to be John Barry, it's gonna sound different. And Bill Conti is a very different composer. Who most people know him from the fact that he composed the Rocky soundtrack. So that's Bill Conti.
It's so funny how not Blofeld had the rich audacity to say, you have no respect for the dead. Yet what did that son of a bitch just do? He fucking killed the bastard.
Yeah.
I was like, really, bro? You're one to talk, not Blofeld. You fucking killed the man. That's once again the whole accuse your enemy of the thing that you're doing. I'm like, what a fucking dipshit and a half, man. Really? And so I felt no sympathy when Bond gave him a lift. I was like, you know what? It serves his ass right. It serves his ass right that he dropped him off, and it was a good way to kill him, because I still chuckle at the way they just dropped him off. I was like, oh, that was present. You want me to drop you down? Now Bond doesn't have as much comedic delivery in this one, but the lines he does have are fucking stellar as always.
Yeah. Great one-liners all through this movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though once again, it's fewer, but still great. Oh man.
I love the fact that he tries to negotiate with Bond. Is like, you killed my wife, you bald fuck.
Yeah.
He had the audacity.
And what the hell was he offering Bond as a deal?
A delicatessen in stainless steel.
A delicatessen in stainless steel. Give me a break. What the hell was that all about?
Put me down. Put me down.
Like
you want to get off.
When I clipped it, I got the subtitles on, obviously. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I had to listen to it twice.
Keep your hair on. Not Blofeld.
Yeah.
Keep his hair on.
And he pats him on the head out of the pilot's window when he says it.
They did a great job of filming this, though. All the special effects with it. They had a
filming
rig
was
with a fake
very good.
helicopter, and then they used a forced perspective on a model to make it look like the helicopter was flying in. So no CGI, but this looks all real, and it's great flying, and I thought it really worked as a great opening scene. It's maybe not as good as the sky jump, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's not
great
as breathtaking, but
but
for
it's a great
what it's
revenge piece.
yeah, for its own merits, it's a really well made piece because it does. I feel like this one definitely has more of the edge of your seat moments, and there's a lot of them. This one, I feel like this movie is kind of like Test the Heights while being on Earth, even though it was more grounded. It was still testing a lot of the big scenes were involved with big jumps and big heights, and I thought that was cool because this is the first of a few of those types of scenes of like the type of scenes, like holy crap, like that just happened. And I felt like they were really trying to see how much could they push the humanitarian aspect of Bond while still keeping it grounded. It felt like they were really trying to push it, so without going into the space type of stuff, really. But anyways, let's get into music because I know we do have a few fans on the panel who are a fan of these songs, so we should let our guests have it with this one, their thoughts and what they love about it.
Well, one, Sheena Easton was hot. So I don't mind seeing her face on screen. And then,
Yeah.
she had a great voice and she had a great face. So, I mean, and of course,
And
the fact
banging
that she's
body
the
at the
only
time.
artist to ever actually be on screen during the opening credits is a huge testament.
Okay. CC, have at it, sir. I know
This is one of my
you know
least
music.
favorite Bond themes, actually. I mean, I didn't
Really?
hate it when I heard it, but it's like Moonraker is one that I can repeat in my head on command, pretty much.
Oh, I
like,
love
Shirley
there are certain ones.
Bassey.
The Chris Cornell one. This one I completely forgot even existed.
Yeah, Chris
until I
Cornell
saw the movie
was
again.
one of the single greatest
Wasn't that
rock
the Die
Bond
Another
songs.
Day one? I don't like the
Yeah.
movie, but I love the song. Love the
Madonna
song.
one. You like the Madonna one?
No, I said the Chris Cornell one. Was that Die
Oh,
Another
no,
Day?
that's Casino
No,
Royale.
Yeah, Casino. You know my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Chris Cornell one a lot. I think that was actually one of my personal favorite ones. But
I actually also enjoyed the next one, which was what's his name from White Stripes, and the girl that sang.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Casino
Oh,
Royale.
Jack White and Alicia Keys.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't better than the you know my name, but it was a good song.
Too
I'll-
bad.
I'll-
Blondie was originally tapped to sing this song, and then they wanted to have an original. Sorry, poor choice of words. But they wanted to have an original. They wanted an original song on the album, and they said no, you can't. You're not going to let you do an original song. But they actually released the song, and it's called "For Your Eyes Only" by Blondie. I'll put the link in, but Deborah Harris singing this would have worked too, I think. But quite would have been a lot different. But I think it's a decent theme. It's good tune.
Kind of funny that Julian Glover's in this because he was in the running to be Bond,
Yes,
and he
was.
lost out to fucking Roger Moore. He got shorted.
Funny side
I'm
story.
glad.
to that,
I'm actually
'cause-
glad though because I don't think Julian would have been right for Bond.
I feel
No.
like he lacks the height of Bond. Bond needs to be tall, and it seems like granted, I never looked into Julian Glover's height, but when I see him in these scenes, he doesn't look like he's got that stash hue posture that all the Bonds have. And
Yeah, but he's got the right accent.
he's
and
got
that's
the
one of the
accent.
reasons-
I'll
The
give him
accent's
the.
good.
I'll give him that. He's got the accent. He does have that.
I got a question for you guys. What about "The World Is Not Enough" by Garbage?
That's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually
Favorite.
don't mind that song. I'm not a fan of the band Garbage in general, but I do.
But
not
they
mind
represent
that song.
Scotland, my friend. So you're shitting on Scotland. You're lucky Brian's not here.
Oh my God, the sheep are upset now. There goes 10
Let
of
me
our
explain
viewers.
to you, laddie. That's not what I like. Scottish music, and if
All
it's
right.
not Scottish, it's crap.
Mr. Zenit beat me to it. I love I can't remember who sang Tomorrow Never Dies, but I do like
Oh,
the song Tomorrow Never Dies. I actually thought that was good. So,
Although
we're gonna-
originally it was
we'll
supposed
have
to
to
be
do a
by
Bond
Lang.
soundtrack episode at the rate we're going. We're gonna need a Bond soundtrack episode. I think that'd be fun. Holy shite!
This was a solid sequence here too with the boat. like
Yeah, that's
practical
great.
effect. I mean, I'm guessing these actors were actually getting watered down.
Oh,
Yeah,
there was a lot of
that looks like this was actually on a really good set to help train for flooding.
yeah. They were getting wet for us. That was what they did for the fans of the movie. They were
Oh
making
my,
sure
they got
that
wet for
they're
us.
like, hey, if we're gonna do this movie, we gotta make sure we get as wet as possible for all our viewers. And shit, man, they got drenched. Like shit, Randy Marsh at California Way wishes he got as drenched as these guys because they got very fucking wet. This is beyond wet fighting. And yeah, I mean, there were aspects of this where I'm like, okay, so you got a little bit of grounded Bond, but also it almost felt like they wanted to say, hey, more, we're gonna have this be your Thunderball in some ways. And I'm sure you guys can see where I'm getting at with the Thunderball feature, especially with a lot of the ocean sequences. They wanted this to be a bigger movie, even though it was grounded. They wanted to be bigger with all the mayhem stunts and with the water. I'm like, okay, so some Thunderball influence. So yeah, this is definitely his most unmore performance of the bunch. And I do feel that what's God, I'm blanking on her name. Oh, Melina. I do think Melina is a good Bond girl in this movie. I think she has a great story arc too. I think
Her arc is great.
yeah, I think her story arc is excellent in this one.
Well,
And
she's basically Elektra from Daredevil and
yeah.
Elektra.
Oh, dude, you thought the same thing too, guy. I'm like, she's Electra Nachio. So you
Just
beat
even
me
mentions
to it.
Electra. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I watched the film, I made the connection. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I thought the
Melina
same.
should get credit for not only being a hot Bond girl, but a badass.
She's a badass. I don't consider her hot.
I don't want to be the first Bond villain to die from a crossbow.
She's not Holly Goodhead.
She does have a similar arc to Elektra too, which is not far off as well. So I'm like, wow, that lines up really damn well. So yeah, I definitely say yeah, she's definitely the Elektra of the series, and it's not like she's a girl boss per se. She's just naturally badass, and it works. You believe it when it's happening. So, and even when she has her limitations, she's either out of the picture for the scene or she works within her capabilities. So, very, very well casted and very well played on the part. And we also had another lady, which was there's almost three. I'm glad only two of them happened. Liesel, played
They
by
went so
Cassandra
hard on
Harris,
this.
aka Pierce Brosnan's wife. Well, late wife. Sorry, late
the Countess.
wife.
The Countess. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Very sad,
yeah, very sad. And and Pierce Brosnan seems like a type of guy who knows how to, when he gets married, he knows how to hold him down, because I think the lady he married after, he's still with to this day.
Yeah.
Miss Moneypenny, a feast for my eyes.
And actually, Pierce Brosnan came to the attention of Broccoli at that point too, and the crew, and they said, "Oh, he'd maybe make a good Bond someday," because he was on the set for a few days with his wife. Then he got called off to a job. So, there's a lot of people that got to audition for Bond. And actually, when they're talking about making this movie, they were actually, trying to they were testing other people, and Moore kind of got pissed off, and he said, "I'm not gonna, that's it, I quit." And then Broccoli convinced him to come back. So it was interesting that, because he was older, right? I mean, I grew up with watching Roger Moore. I didn't notice as much, but now I'm kind of noticing he looks a little bit older to me as I get,
yeah, you could tell.
as I'm older.
He's old enough for Moneypenny at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic looking for his age. I mean, if I looked half
the
same age, but, but you kind of, when you're older, you kind of notice it. You kind of notice it more, like and he admits it too in the behind the scenes and the commentaries. Like, I'm getting up there in age when I'm doing this movie. So at least he's honest about it. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out there's a character.
It's the
There's a
movie's
character
title.
Go ahead. Character here, conspicuous by his absence. M.
Yes. The actor.
He was dying of stomach cancer when this movie was made.
And it shows you it's easy to write off a thing with a quick line. Agent M was on leave, and unfortunately, he was never to be seen or heard from again. What a damn.
And as far as I'm concerned, He as M and Desmond Llewellyn as Q defined those parts.
Oh, straight
Nobody,
up.
not even Dame Judi Dench, has been able to, as far as I'm concerned, been able to equal Bernard Lee's M.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the one I grew up with,
Dench, but
and he
she's
was
not.
with 3 different Bonds. He was M.
Yep.
Period. End of story.
And he tried to film. They tried to do some filming. He had stomach cancer. God rest his
Yeah.
soul, and he just couldn't do. He just wasn't up to it at that point. So and then they said they didn't want to recast him, obviously. And so they just, as you said, they just said, yeah, he's
The
on,
thing they
away,
should have
yeah.
done, the thing they should have done was that in the books, the head of MI, whatever it is, 6 or 5, I can never keep track,
6
is defined by his initials. So he was Sir Miles Messervy. That's what made him M. His predecessor, if I remember correctly, in the books, was C.
Uh-huh.
What they should have done when Bernard Lee passed and they had to come up with a new head of MI6, they should have come up with a new letter. And then it wouldn't have been, oh, you're changing M into somebody else. No, it just would have been, he's retired.
Yeah.
And now we have a new head of MI6.
Well, they did that
C
with
or whatever.
when Desmond stepped down from the role and they brought in John Cleese. Cleese was R. He wasn't Q.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there.
Exactly.
There is precedent there.
And I wish they'd done that with M. I wish Judi Dench had come in and been D or something else or whatever. Would have been better.
Agree.
It would have kept the storyline going. It would have stayed with the books as opposed to, well, we've got this character, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep the same character, but hire a new actor.
Well,
I
the one
agree.
thing they did keep with Casino Royale, I didn't like Judi Dench coming in to the Daniel Craig film. They should have recast it for that. It was weird because she's older now while he's younger. It just didn't make sense. But there was a nice little throwaway line in that. It's like funny when he finds her place that her name starts with the letter M. And he starts to say her name and she says, say your name and I'll kill you or have you killed.
Right.
And I thought that was the best M line since the original M.
Yeah. And they made an effort to make it work, but I thought they could have made a clean break and it would have worked better, but that's just me.
I agree.
I like Dench. I just don't like her trying to be M. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Well, her M is fucked up because he just got his 00 status and she starts talking to him like he's from some older time. You're a thug, you're a blunt instrument. It's like, I just got my 00.
Yeah.
I just killed for you. And you're talking to me like I've been killing for you for decades. It was a weird writing in that film.
Yes.
It was problematic and it was wrong. They shouldn't have kept her.
Actual problematic. Not the fake, fake anger or fake outrage.
They should have had Ralph Fiennes take over the role right when they started doing the Bond because he would have been a good M from the beginning.
I really do enjoy the Kingsman. Maybe I'm in the wrong chat for this, the wrong panel. The Kingsman movies.
Yeah, I have not seen the Kingsman, but I have seen the first one, which I love, which is obviously based on the Mark Miller comic. Which shout out to Mark Miller who announced his deal today for Dark Horse Comics. That is fucking badass, man.
Big, right? Yeah.
Wait, Mark Miller, he's the guy who wrote the Kingsman comic.
Yeah.
He announced today that he brought his whole entire Mill World universe to Dark Horse Comics. So he's going to be now working exclusively with them to put his Mill World book. So he's announced that he's got 4 original books next year, along with a follow-up to Nemesis next year. So I love the first Kingsman movie. I think that's going to be a Toxic Tuesday inevitability. That and the first Kick-Ass. That and the first Kick-Ass will be Toxic Tuesday inevitability. And I feel like if for Kick-Ass, it's going to be all about Hit Girl. I feel like she truly was the toxic one in that movie. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Hit Girl is perfect in that movie. So yeah. Yeah, no, dude, I love the Kingsman. Kingsman's fucking awesome. So Yeah, shout out. And we got
2 CD.
Action Com for $5. Question for the panel: who knows what eyes only means on a document? And you know what? I don't know. I'll just admit it. I don't know, guys. Is that like a government thing?
No.
It means classified, right?
It's
Yeah,
a
eyes
security
only.
classified.
You're not allowed to write about it. You're not allowed to speak about it. You're allowed to look at it.
That's it.
And you're not
It's
allowed to
just for
show it
you.
to anyone else.
You can't show it to anyone else.
Well, that gets boring.
Yeah.
A
I want
document
to show
for
it to everyone.
your eyes only.
Yep.
Right.
It's a command.
So, like, also, there's almost like a 5 senses thing. You only see, but you don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once you get Q clearance and through the military, which I had briefly, you get little things like that. You're not allowed to speak about it. You're allowed to open it up, see what it is. And you probably know that everybody you're sitting with is also getting the same information, but you don't know if it's exact.
And it's
one way that they have of testing
to
see if anybody is spreading words, because they may give you something additional that's not real. And I'm telling you, U.S. Army's counterintelligence corps, there's some sneaky, nasty bastards. And I've got my best friend was in there, and I know how sneaky they can get.
I mean, don't leave in the garage next to the Corvette. Burn after reading, calling FBI.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, Glowies, for coming in the chat.
Oh, we missed that great moment. Or no, he hasn't hit yet. But I even though it's like not like in a big row where it's all super intense, the way it plays out is obviously funny tense, but it's also entertaining. And I love, and then going around it's cool to see Spain too. I love seeing all the old buildings of Spain.
And this was actually painted. This was actually painted to look like Spain. I think this scene wasn't filmed in Spain.
Yeah, it wasn't filmed, but
which is crazy.
Looks very much like Spain.
Yeah, but that's why they painted it white, and they paid for everyone to have their houses painted after whatever color they wanted. I love this line here: "Take the low road." It's like not that road. And I don't know if anyone's ever been
low, not that low.
And by the way, for those who don't know, the car that she owns and that he's in with her here, that they're picking up and standing back on its wheels, is a Citroen 2 Chevaux, and it is the world's most ridiculous French car. There is no sillier car, and there is no more French car than a 2 Chevaux. And I think it has about 28 horsepower. Yeah, it's like 28 horsepower. It has a lever on the dashboard. When you put people in the back seat, your headlights go up into the air. You push the lever up, and it points your headlights back down at the road. That's how lightweight and silly and non-existent this car is.
When you sit in it, it's I've had the pleasure of being in one in Switzerland, and it's like they're like lawn chairs. You know, I couldn't fit in them now because I was a kid.
You know, Mark,
they basically look like lawn chairs.
All I got to say, Mark, the way you delivered that, it really sounded like you were talking about a woman.
Well, that car reminds me.
I had the pleasure of being inside one once.
Once. It was only once.
Yeah, I can prove that I've been inside a woman twice because I've got 2 daughters.
Are you sure it was one though? Can you define what that is? Because maybe it was a man, for all you know.
The 2 Chevaux was a contemporary of the Volkswagen Beetle.
Go back. Was that 70s in the vehicle?
Let's see. Let's check. Let me click on it.
Was 70s a baddie?
70s is a Bond villain. I don't care what he says.
I've never seen a Bond villain with a sheep.
No,
yeah, he's
got a wig on. Yeah,
as I've described, he's evil, but not going to hell evil, but a Bond villain evil.
They actually put a special engine in they had a bunch of cars, Citroens that they used, and they had to put real engines in them so they could film these stunts.
Oh yeah,
they wouldn't be able to go up the hill otherwise.
Well, it's the same stunt driver who choreographed these all the way back to the beginning, and I think he shot all the way up to the first Bond with what's his name that was next.
The sheep who loved me.
Oh my God.
Soul Assassin.
Somebody clip that and send it to Brian.
Dude. I just
We'll leave that on the
I'm-
screen. I'll clip it. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Oh,
Oh.
dude, that is fucking amazing. Don't you just love a drive in the country? Oh, perfectly tied. Oh, so
I
good.
didn't appreciate that scene. It's the music. I'm sorry.
I love the scene though. The stunt. I think the stunt works
Stunt was
phenomenal.
great.
Oh my god! And it's great having Bond and not a real car. And of course, he'd be a phenomenal driver. But yeah, and it kind of reminds me of Commando too in some way. You remember the scene of Commando and Arnold's chasing the guys down the hill, going after them with the Jeep without any power. But
Right.
yeah, it's a great. I think the scene really works really well.
Was that a Jeep sidekick?
I like this part.
I think Bond may have driven more varied cars as Bond than any of the other ones.
For all the conflicts Bruce and I have had on Roger Moore, I'm actually kind of in lockstep with him that I love the sequence and the way it plays out in this movie. I do think the music does hurt it a little bit in the scene. Luckily, it's executed so well that I do forgive it, but man, the music for the scene is not all that good. And luckily, the scene is so damn good the way it plays out, and the one-liners. Yeah, it reminds me. It's like. Yeah, you mentioned was it Commando with Arnold stepping into smoke? Yeah, it's basically Bond trying to step into like a Volkswagen, like a Beetle or a Jetta. It's just like big man in a little car type of situation. But luckily the chase is great and they go for it. And what I noticed too about with this chase, not everything about it happens is like perfect. Like everything goes perfectly smooth. They don't there's a few mess ups that they both have. The good guys and the bad guys happen along the way. They do get a few, no pun intended, bumps in the road. There's definitely they both make mistakes.
It's realistic
in their chase. Yeah, it is realistic. It almost feels like it's trying to, I don't want to say overcorrect, but I guess you could say balance out the equation a little bit because of how out there Moonraker was, which for me I love. Of course, I loved how out there it was. But I do recognize what they're trying to pull off, and I do respect and applaud the execution of the chase. Like right here, the front driver wheel, it hits their vehicle. It did just most movies it would just went over smooth, which is fine. We love that for this movies, but it's nice to see that for a change of pace. And I feel like once again that's where those. I don't know if it's intended to be funny, but I thought that moment was funny.
No, it's a lot of good humor in this chase scene too, because he's not in his Lotus, right? So they wanted to get him more, have him more grounded. Plus, they didn't have the budget too. The studio was going through problems, so that's why the editor got upgraded to being the director in this movie. So the budget was cut back extremely, on this film. But I don't think it looks like it. But they. Because they did such a great job, but all these practical stunts look so good. But I think the movie was about $30 million back in the day, but it was much less than what they spent on the previous two movies. And it's nice to see Bond, more of that regular Bond. As much as I love Moore, it was going, it's going over the top with Moonraker, with the quips and the
Moore movie yet.
Yeah.
The Chinese have a saying. Before setting on revenge, you first dig 2 graves. And yeah, it's one of those ways I don't need to have you, Bond. Oh, yeah. She's the good version of I don't need to have a man, but she'll welcome you. She'll welcome you, but she doesn't need you necessarily because her mission is revenge first. If a guy happens that she happens to like, okay, great, hey, gravy. But this is like, bro, I gotta get revenge first. What the hell you doing?
I can't help but wonder, Nick, if Frank Miller was inspired by this when he did his Daredevil, the retelling of Elektra.
Maybe.
Because I couldn't help but make the connection when I read the comic.
That is something that is something to definitely ponder about. You definitely make a good point about that. That seems like something that at the very minimum wouldn't be far aligned. Obviously, for all we know, it could be a coincidence, but I could definitely see it.
Yeah, if you watch Don and Me, you know there's no such thing as coincidences. There's always something. There's some DNA in there that connects.
You really believe there's no such thing as coincidence? I like to think that there is. Not always. I do think that there's exceptions per se.
I did have one quick question.
Okay.
So she says she's half Greek. So which half? Top half or bottom half?
Hopefully the bottom half. That's the most important half.
Yeah.
Greek, yes.
I'm a backdoor guy. You got to get that. Right.
Oh man!
You heard why the Greek didn't want to leave home? Yeah, he was afraid that he didn't want to leave his little brothers behind.
So are you one of those guys?
She's a B in the top
Gerry,
half. So
are you one of those guys who likes to make sure his back door is cocked and loaded?
Definitely cocked. A lot of cock.
But what about loaded?
I don't care. Whatever you're firing.
There's no sense in going off half cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
Wait a moment. Nick and I are sexting on Twitter right now, just so you guys know.
Do not go in there.
I just sent a bunch of images to Nick. I hope he liked them.
Are they private?
You shouldn't put that in the Twitter. Now we can all see it by accident.
Oh, he sent me private stuff, and it's really
it's from Vindicated because I'm going to be doing his show on Friday. And by the way, what time are we doing that? Because you haven't made it yet.
We start at 8:30 Central.
8:30 Central. Okay, outstanding. Why at the half hour? You do that all the time. That's interesting.
I do. That's how I do the thing.
You're just a halfway guy. It's your thing.
I go in, but not all the way.
All the way.
He goes on half cock.
Gary's the type of guy. I go to half cock. Gary's got expectations for me to go all the way in.
I like it all. I like getting everything.
Yeah, and check out the CGI. Look
this whole
look at that CGI from
red
1981. Oh, it's so good.
You're a tease.
She's typing, and all of a sudden you hear, "Would you like to play a game?"
This was high tech back then. I couldn't believe watching this in the movie theater in '81. I was like, man, look at the computer graphics in there. That is so smooth. I mean, my color computer was 320 by 200 resolution back then, so with 4K. I'm like, wow, look at this. They got color. Radio Shack color computer.
Okay. Wow.
It was I think it was like 600 by 400 by 4 colors, or as the resolution went up, you lost color. So, it was 1980. I mean, it was.
I'm a load quote asterisk quote comma 8 comma 1 guy. I get it.
Whoa, you're a load guy.
And who in the chat knows what kind of printer this is?
That's the type of printer that you have to.
I do.
Low res.
You got to fill that dot matrix.
The dot matrix. Dot matrix. Look at that.
When I was in college, I worked in a computer lab, and they had like one nice LaserJet printer, but every other printer on every desk was a dot matrix, and all of them going off at once during finals week. Oh my God, that noise was horrible.
Ears.
It was so fucking loud.
Yeah, we
had a dot in college. We had a dot matrix printer that stood 4 feet high, which was the general printer for the computer lab that served the whole college. And there was only one other printer, and it was an IBM Selectric typewriter that had been wired into the computer so the computer could type on it. And that was where
we had an
everybody
IBM one too, because we didn't have monitors in junior high school and high school for our computer labs. We had these dot matrix printers from IBM, and you've never played the original Lunar Lander until you frame by frame play on a printer.
Well,
I should asteroids. It was ridiculous.
Oh man,
I tried to land the ship on the moon with using the arrow keys.
Lunar Lander,
limited fuel.
Frame by frame, and you would do alterations with each frame, and you're on the computer doing it. It was goofy, man.
You had it easy. We had to play Zork.
Is this one of those walking up the hill to and from school stories?
Yeah, the four Yorkshiremen. We played Zork. You typed your answer in, and then you found out how you'd screwed up.
Yeah, and then we actually, one of my buddies,
Gerry.
We downloaded. You could do girly pictures on these dot matrix print as well, the symbols. So if
Oh,
someone had a
boom.
file
Yeah.
that was going around, you'd print it, and it was like a big poster. And if you stood far enough away from it, she looked like she was naked. So it was hysterical.
I actually
Still
got a
have the
computer
printout somewhere.
scientist at Bell Laboratories to translate an IBM file to a different encoding system so he could print it. And it turned out that the image I'd been given was a penthouse centerfold. And he was printing it at work.
You couldn't print pictures back in the day. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do graphics.
No.
So it had all the symbols, but it made it look like she was a nude, a nude girl. I still have one of the printouts somewhere in my filing cabinet. It was hysterical.
Wow.
This dude's voice annoyed me though.
Wow.
I'm going to talk like this and be really loud and annoying.
I like Q's voice. I
Why
like
don't you, the guy who is in stepping in for M in this movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Reginald, what's this fuck?
I like. I'll give him a compliment for one thing. He did blow a nice pipe.
As a skier, I enjoyed this whole sequence.
Oh yeah,
because I can relate to some of the things. I fell in a ravine once and shattered my heel.
Ooh,
the crashes are pretty real.
Son of a fuck, man.
This led to a great comical routine on one episode of Archer, where he starts having a young lady wanting to fuck him that was underage.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's 19 in this movie.
So I think I remember because even though when I first saw this, I was, I think I'd say in my teens. I remember thinking to myself, even I know it's like Moore's not that young in this movie, but thinking, man, that girl looks like she's like 19 or 18 even. Oh man,
That's the girl from Ice Castles, and I keep lobbying to try to get that on Toxic Tuesday, the Robbie Benson movie. She's the figure skater who goes blind, and he's got to skate with her. It's one of those cheesy 80s movies or 70s movies. So she was a figure skater in real life who went to acting. So, Nick, you've never had to take a date out to go see Ice Castles, I'm guessing. So
no, I did
Mark,
not.
D with a C, did you ever have to go on a date to the Cutting Edge?
No, I didn't see The Cutting Edge. No,
that's a horrible 80s film. Horrible.
Is it a skating film or is it
the ice skating film? This guy gets bounced out of the hockey league and he's unable to play, and so this dumb snotty bitch needs to have a partner because her last partner.
Oh, is that the hockey player turned figure skater?
Yeah,
I remember that movie. Yeah, Ice Castles, was that what that was called?
No, that's a different one. Ice Castles is the blind figure skater.
Oh, it's
She's
the
the
cute
girl
little
from Ice
brunette
Castles.
chick. She
Yes.
was really cute back in the
back in
her day.
'92. She was cute.
I was in the Army. I remember seeing that on post, and my girlfriend in the Army wanted to see it, and I'm like, all right, I'll go see it. And I'm like, she didn't like the fact. I'm like, yeah, I like that little chick. She's hot.
Oh, my buddy was dating a girl back in the 80s. When did Dirty Dancing come out? It was the 90s or 80s, whenever it was, but
87.
Yeah, so he saw Dirty Dancing like 50 times or something. He kept going with her. So he's like, we've ever like mentioned, and we'd joke like years later, like, you want to see Dirty Dancing this weekend? You broke up with it, a bad breakup. He's like,
I
fuck
do love
you,
the fact
fuck
that
you.
the Muppets theme fits that last dance scene perfectly without changing tempo.
So do you think that he didn't bang her because she was underage, or because she was related or to the guy that he was trying to have a business deal with or whatever?
Yes.
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 All of the above.
Oh yeah, that's an all of the above, Dustin. That for the
She's
story,
definitely a slut.
For the story, it was the fact that there was that connection. For Roger Moore, okay, bro, this is a little far. Even this is a little bit far.
So do you think there were any bonds? If there were any bonds different than Roger Moore, would they have done it or no?
No, I mean, look, Bond would not fuck this chick. Any Bond, it's not Bond's character to fuck this chick.
If anyone
think
would
Connery
have,
would.
Never mind the age; it's not his style. He's like
Daniel Craig
little
would have,
more
and he would have
refined.
cried. He would have cried while doing
It's
it.
it's
Yeah.
guys.
Daniel
It's not
Craig
like
would have.
Bond's hard up to get some anyway, right? I mean,
Right, well, I
No.
was just curious because I mean, typically, like, there's just like that unspoken thing. They're like, and then they do it, and she's like,
General Veers.
"Hey, everybody, let's do this," and she's like coming in, getting naked for him. It was almost like it was too easy for him.
That's
And
true
on top of
too.
being-
He likes
on
the
top of
chase.
being young, but they didn't.
He
really
likes them
specify
hard to
how
get,
old.
and he likes them. He likes, the well dressed and well. He doesn't like cheap drinks, right? It's just not. It's not how he does things.
Right.
So this is one of my favorite Bond chicks. Personally, anyways, it's been some good ones.
yeah, because she's a badass in this one too. So she's not just
She won
know.
the Playboy thing to be in this movie.
You guys totally
The
did
girl
check
in
the
the
private
flower
chat. I went to go potty and I came right back. I love to say where the crash happens. Be sure to believe these for the funeral. You just got some flowers, and before you know it, that was it. Got sent off to the funeral. And that lady didn't even go off about, hey, you just crashed into my freaking business, bro.
yeah.
She should like saw that guy on the ground, just maybe like, I don't know, take one of her glass vases and bash it over his head just for extra measure. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a great stunt here too. And I was watching how they filmed it, and they actually put the wood there already on the bike, so so he's riding it just at the end there, and he or the wood is across, and he crashes into it. But just it looks great though. Just all real. With the CGI today, it's just so much stuff. It's just so fake. It's
Send it
these
to the
guys are
funeral.
risking it.
Yeah. Send them
There
to
you
the
go.
So many
funeral.
great
will you?
lines.
Send them to the funeral.
So your telegram? What telegram?
When you sent the naughty pictures, I believe you in English call it a dick pic.
That's gonna say, you beat me
Yeah,
to
I
it.
didn't send you the dick pic.
Whoa, what? What
What?
the
It wasn't
hell? Look
my
at
dick.
hold on. Go back to that
The
snow
horse?
guy. That snow guy looked like he was taking it in the ass. Go back.
Enhance.
Go back.
Enhance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go back
Enhance.
quick.
Go back. Look at
I knew you would.
Oh,
Blink and you miss it. Rear entry.
Good catch.
Only
Good
on
job,
Taco
buddy.
Tuesday would an innocent
You're on
snow
brand
sculpture be
tonight.
referred to as that. Yeah.
Do you want to build a snow grape?
Oh, that snowman was letting you know he was open season and available. Holy crap!
Is that
That
Jerry's kind of guy?
say that again.
Is that Jerry's kind of guy?
Oh man, that. Oh
That is
no,
a
this
really big member.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. If you look to the right, Rex by Bond's shoulder, it looks like those are the balls. Oh man!
Yeah, I was going to say that is a huge schlong you're putting in.
DC Scott, I've seen this movie many times. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've never paid attention to that either, and I've been watching this since the 80s.
I am to please. Yeah.
Toxic Tuesday will make you see things you've never seen. Oh,
Somebody give that man a super chat. That was funny as fuck.
What's up, 70s? Says this show
Oh,
sucks up the Scottish.
Hey, there's 70s rock fan.
How are the sheep?
The sheep.
The sheep who loved me.
I remember in college, we got a friend of ours an inflatable sex sheep as a joke. And one of the girls that was hanging out with us, she literally just rammed her fist in the back of it, and she goes, "It doesn't feel like a real one." And we all just, what the fuck?
Dang.
What?
Good
Like,
timing.
why
Look
would
at
you
that
raise
face.
it like that woman?
please tell me she was a veterinary student.
No, she wasn't.
Oh,
She was actually in
Uh,
marketing.
So
was
she majored in animal husbandry until they caught her at it one day.
holy
Was her boyfriend
shit.
in the room?
No, she was single, so that explains
Yeah,
that.
because if the guy
Oh,
was
that
in the
comment.
room with her. Really?
Well,
Oh, my-
she's also kind of girl that we would accuse her of giving guys their Red Wings on the regular.
What? Oh my god! This is officially toxic equilibrium.
Oh, her?
that's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, she was a whore.
There's nothing wrong with whores. You practice on them for your wife or boyfriend.
Are we demonetized yet?
Oh, dude. Let me go. Let me go check. I don't know. I actually have not kept track this time around. Let me check and see if where
It's
we're
okay,
at right
CC
now.
karaoke. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you say the word fuck here. You're good, sir.
Oh yeah, dude. You can fucking swear all you want here. Yeah, we're demonetized. Yeah, it's all good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's going well tonight.
Which part of it did
Tonight's
that?
word is vagina.
If you're from Hamas, we will have the
Giant,
sheep instructional sex
hairy
video later.
vagina.
Sweet, I can actually use the sound effect.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
It's not as funny. You can get demonetized on the stream, but you can still send super chats, right?
The word retarded isn't the right way of saying it until you say it in the original New Yorker. Hey, that kid's retarded. That guy's a retard. That's
That
how you
guy's
say
a
it.
fucking retard.
She is so adorable. Look at her.
Okay,
Someone
I
needs
think
to
for this
fuck
thing, you
her.
need the right background music.
I think she's. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
On the stage.
What's the name of this movie, Bambi?
I knew Keely would get it. I knew Keely would get it.
Fuck, she wasn't bad.
I should spank you.
What has happened?
If she just gone full on and had her rape him. Oops, wait, no, I can't say that.
She just needs her
I'm
face
still a
fucked like
virgin.
that my penis.
Look on his face.
I'm buying ice cream.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
Well, she does force herself upon him.
I was gonna say, I feel like she was like the Amber Heard of the situation. She was actually
Almost a
like
Cardi
coming
B.
on. She was coming on to him, and he was actually trying to like kind of run away, and she like fucking smooches his face, and she pushes him up against the door. I'm like,
This is toxic.
yeah.
I mean, he's trying to
Maybe-
tell her, look, I've got unused semen in my fucking nut that's older than you.
Bonus points if you told a stripper that before.
We've probably all encountered this the chick who turns around 5 minutes later and starts gawking on the next guy like she does in this movie.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like every single one.
And
It's all about.
and
It's
the
all
look
about.
the look on Bond's face when that happens too. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's a whore, but
I mean, she just wants to fuck. She's doing what any other dude would do. Like, oh, well, you don't want me. I'm next when I come.
And there's this
Oh, I
great
like-
double entendre in here.
She's
Breath
got some
control.
moves. I mean, look at the way she skis here. Well,
That was a fucking great lie with the breath control lie. Well, yes, you can't lose. I was like, wow, wow.
By the way,
they
who-
almost
who
went with the
just
sucking
said,
the chrome off
"Here
the
I
bumper
come"?
line there, right? I mean,
said
How you
that?
doing, Scuba Pete? Nice to see you, man. Okay, well, while this is going on, we'll acknowledge some super chats. Which, by the way, thank you guys for doing this. We remember it's never required. We love keep it fun, and sometimes in order to have the most fun, you have to just say fuck it and demonetize the show. And well, you know what? That's what we do here. We say fuck
Every
it. We do.
Tuesday night.
action calm.
All right. So CC karaoke for Canadian $2.
Monetize
on the
super
panel.
chat. There you go.
Demonetize super chat. Thank you, CC. I'm happy you're here. Wonky man with a $2 British pounds. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep, we would all 100% hump. Yeah. Thank you, Wonky Man. And then Rob Boltis for a $5. Rest in peace, monetization. You know, what was it? Was it The Spy Who Loved Me? For some reason, I woke up about a few days after that stream, and for some reason, of all the Toxic Tuesday streams, it's the one that went back to monetization. How was that one stream?
stayed?
That one stream.
How did that
What-
happen?
I don't know. I don't know.
We better add on to it. We better fix that.
And that was
No doubt.
that was a very like homoerotic show. That show was like seriously, I was like, how is that one of all the ones? Yeah, it's one of the only ones.
This chick is a screamer.
Yeah.
If I'm betting at the casino, I lay down $100 that she'd scream pretty hard.
Don't grow up anymore. The opposite sex won't survive it.
This is the best line in the movie.
Now that is a toxic line. That's a very toxic line. That is
That's
perfect.
probably the best line in the movie.
Yeah.
I'd actually argue not only one of the best lines in the movie, one of the best lines Moore has said in his entire duration as Bond. Seriously, that is such a fantastic line. That is the mob will come for you and swarm you and try to like chew you up and spit you out type of levels of cancel.
No,
It's punctuated by the fact the athlete was also just brushing her off for the exact
even
same
though she was the one coming on to him, it would still be he's still the villain because his words are the actual violence, not her actions.
Are we going to talk about Charles Dance and one of his first movie film roles?
Is he in this?
Yep, this very scene.
Holy shit!
Yep.
He's one of the guys on the motorcycle, or
yeah, I believe he's one of the guys on the motorcycle.
Yeah, Charles Dance will forever be Lucy from Golden Child.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Martin Grace. He's Roger Moore's stunt double, and he really had his work cut out for him with this movie. Between this, the low riding scene, the helicopter scene, then there's the boat, then there's the mountain scene. Like, definitely has work cut out for him. Like with a lot of these scenes, man. Like, man, it's actually impressive. Like, this dude didn't get hurt, at least that we know, because we do know one guy, which we'll get to later, who actually did get hurt while working on this movie. But
good night, Daddy.
Well, someone died during the during the stunt on the in this
the
skiing
boat.
scene with.
Well, no, in the skiing scene too.
No, with
someone died in this movie.
The tobacco. Yeah, in the sled. One of the guys died in the sled that landed on him, and actually a week before someone had died on the same track, so now they've shortened the track because that last turn is really dangerous, and they don't publicize it all too. I was digging into this
dangerous sport. Remember that loser died in the Olympics. I posted a meme about that way too soon afterwards, and got some pretty hard flack for it.
Yeah, but and actually. One of the guy that died in the competition, his brother was announcing the friggin' thing and watched it happen. It's like, oh god! So like within a week, 2 guys died on this toboggan or a bobsled course. Within 2 weeks, yeah. But they don't have like a 4. Usually they put like in memory of, or they kind of just ignore the whole death in this.
That's a dangerous sport.
Yeah,
it is.
And a couple of stuntmen broke their arms on these, riding these bikes with the, with the studded tires are still pretty freaking dangerous. If anyone's tried to ride a bike in either motorcycle or bike in bad weather, I mean, as kids, we'd go out on our bicycles in the snow. I mean, it doesn't go too well. So
you see that fifth cover in the film too. It's like grass and rocks everywhere. It was not a good snow season. It's easy to just crash into that.
That's actually very common in the Alps and the lower parts of the mountain, that the snow is spotty. It's heavier on top, and that's one of the things that makes
that's what she
races
said.
in Europe so interesting.
I heard that too.
What else? So
skiing, the bottom's pretty hairy.
Whoa!
Michael Schumacher got fucked up royally by skiing.
Yes,
he did.
Yeah.
My favorite driver of all time.
This is another great scene that Mr. Grace has worked on. Where it's not just the skiing, but it goes into the bobsled. Dude, I fucking love this damn scene. This is good. This is just like, holy crap. Everything can go wrong in this shit. Like, they can hit the bobsleds, they can hit around the bobsleds, they can hit maybe the people who are watching. Like, everything about this is This is like a train trying to hold it together and not fall apart. This is what this scene. This is a fucking freight train of a scene, man. Damn. Probably is definitely probably one of my favorite sequences in the movie because, dude, that tiny condensed space and it's all a big, just constant. Whoosh. Whew. Yeah, this one definitely. Well, it takes my breath away. Bow, 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 wow, wow, wow. Oh, and and Mr. Zen's not even a fan of this one. He says the scenes are fucking top notch. Yeah, dude, no, this was, oh man, so tense. No, I this is definitely one of my highlights in the movies for real. I love this scene. It's incredible. And
There's a lot of good set pieces in this movie. I do think this one here is probably one of the best ones for its setup, its delivery, and its payoff.
Yep.
Okay. Now, how much more do you like the performance of Moore in this Bond compared to the other ones, Bruce?
This is my least favorite Moore film I've seen yet. Just for the fact, just for Moore's performance, this is the one where I started noticing he was really trying to sell us on the fact that he was going to do some physical things. And during the action scenes, I was noticing stuff. I mean, the underwater scenes you can cover up with bubbles, which is great, but him trying to shuffle off with all that climbing gear later on, I really was not into that. I don't buy Moore being an action guy. I'm very sorry. He just
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He
Finish.
doesn't come across to me as a physical, a guy with a lot of physicality in his work. He just doesn't. He doesn't have the build for it. He doesn't have the shoulders. He's not Sean Connery, and I hate to say that.
Well, I think almost no one's going. Most people are not going to disagree. My only thing is the only part I find strange about your take is the fact that I feel this one would have been more preferable towards your leanings.
Yeah,
because it seems like the most. It seems like the most James Bond of the movie, where it's like, Living Like That was the blaxploitation flick. Then you had Moonraker, that was the Star Wars movie. This seemed like the most definitive James Bond movie.
If I ignore Roger Moore's performance as Bond, this movie is probably the best of the era.
Ooh, interesting.
This is a great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the choreography during the stunts throughout this entire scene is fantastic.
This is actually my favorite track in the soundtrack.
There's no way that anybody Roger Moore's age could ski like this.
That's my entire problem with.
I can overlook it, but
films.
Yeah, the other thing too is seeing this in the movie theater. I mean, first run, this scene blew you away, and this is such an exciting movie. All the action pieces, and I couldn't believe how cool the scene was. Watching it the first time, and it's just so much better in a movie theater too. And you're kind of used to a little bit of green screen once in a while back then, and and then when you're younger too, maybe it's suspending disbelief just in your, I'm not thinking that, he's too old there. I looked up to him as Roger Moore. And back then, most actors weren't in great shape either. There's a few, Stallone maybe, but, most times the actors weren't, working out like they do now and weren't in as great shape. So today, everyone, looks like Captain America practically in the movies. But, Bond wasn't supposed to be a muscle bound guy, but an athletic guy, and I can see Moore doesn't
a guy who's
have
at
that
least
look,
in
but
shape to do stuff like this. Yeah, I do agree. He's not supposed to be totally shredded, and I still think that should not be a thing. Like even if let's just pretend I'm in a world where I liked the Daniel Craig movies, I don't like the idea of him being shredded because. Once again, built like the big body, big weightlifter guys, bodybuilder guys, any of those guys who are super muscular, a lot of them don't move this way. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rule, but Bond's also a guy who could get through little areas, whereas the big guys, they can't always, but whatever,
He's supposed to be able to blend in, and, a gigantic Bond would not blend in.
But Connery's Bond blended in well because he was a taller guy, but he had an athletic build, but it wasn't super shredded. When he took his shirt off, you're like, oh, well, he must swim a lot. But he wasn't like Ricardo Montalban in Wrath of Khan Part 2. He was a bodybuilder when he was younger, but
I did not know that
it's
about
been a
Khan.
few years since then.
Ha!
Yes.
T-Bud, Mr. H. Yeah, right.
I've
love
definitely
Mr. H,
skied at these speeds. I appreciate that they add some crashes because that sold me on it, made it a little bit more believable. You are going to hit a tree. I've hit trees.
It's kind of like
I have tripped over rocks. You know?
It reminds me of the scenario earlier with the car chase scene where there were like actual hits that they took along the way. Remember, like when the wheel bumped into the other car that they were trying to run away from.
Yeah.
There is mistakes made once again from the good guys and the bad guys in this thing, which I do for me that I love the scene and I don't really even get points off. I understand why people do, because obviously with Moore and his age, but because of the amount of mistakes and falls and all that shit that happens, I do buy the scene that much more because there are definitely things that go wrong for him. Not everything is super convenient and easy. So, and even the same thing for the bad guys.
Yeah.
They had their mess ups too, and you see it happen. And for me, I had no problem with. I genuinely had no problem with the scene. I understand why some do, but for me, I had no issues.
And I can speak from experience. I can speak from experience having been videotaped skiing. A skier who's 100% under control is boring to watch. The stuff you see in ski movies and when you're watching ski races, you're watching people who are right on the knife edge of going over the top and then just wiping out. And
if
that's
you're
when
under
it's interesting to watch.
Then you're not going half as hard any more than half as hard as you could.
But I mean, it's
hot dog.
It's a matter of
hot dog in the winter. The ski movie Hot Dog.
Yeah, hot dogging.
The movie Hot Dog.
Dogging is a good example.
That's
you
toxic,
are on the tails of your skis. You're about to have a complete wipeout and a yard sale where everything you're wearing is going to go in different directions. And if you pull it back together and make the next turn, it looks awesome on film. And if you don't, it still looks awesome on film because then you get to see it crash. So it works either way.
So not Bond. Roger Moore, I call him Bond, was 54 when this movie came out.
Damn.
Okay,
but looking good for 54.
Okay, so I gotta look up how old Daniel Craig is now because that makes me wonder. Like, if he was 54 when this came out, how old was Daniel Craig when No Time to Die?
Like 45 or so.
Because, dude,
he's 55 now.
55
He's
now.
50 now.
Holy shit! So
he actually looks a lot older than Roger.
Hold on.
His physique.
I just realized
he looks ancient nowadays.
Okay, so Daniel Craig was 53 when No Time to Die came out. To be fair, it was originally supposed to come out in 2020 because then the Kung Flu happened. So we'll say 52 to be fair. Even to Daniel Craig, I'll play fair. So, okay, so 54 is more in this movie, and then 56 was Octopussy, 58 in
58.
A View to a Kill. So
just wanted that
58
organ.
versus 52. Holy crap. That is nuts.
That's why it looks so bad in A View to a Kill. I mean,
yeah,
he's okay in this movie. He's passable. And if you really look for it, obviously you can see it. But if once you notice it, but View to a Kill, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Sean Connery looks like he's used a hammer and nails before. He knows physical labor. Roger Moore never struck me as that, and that's my biggest problem with Moore.
You can look at his fingertips and tell that he wasn't a person who's done manual labor. He's got very narrow fingertips, not flat on the top. Anybody who's done construction or anything like that, the tops of your fingers tend to be flatter.
I thought something else caused that.
No, that's the palms. You're confusing the palms.
I don't
with the
know.
index finger.
Everything about this sounds really gay.
Either that or you're jerking off wrong.
I usually just sand off my calluses with my little marble stone.
Now imagine John Candy.
I'm sorry, but this is horrifying. calluses and jerking off in the same conversation.
What the fuck?
It's sort of like,
dude?
I like to jerk off with a cheese grater. It's rough, it hurts a lot, but it's pretty good.
Why? Holy shit.
I like a rough and tug once in a while. Come on.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's from an Andrew Dice Clay line from the movie Ford Fairlane.
That is
like
We
jerking
did that
off
as
with a cheese grater.
Tuesday night, by
I
the
thought
way.
cheese graters were restricted to chicks.
Dude, that's absolutely fucking wrong in every sense of
I
the
thought a
word.
cheese grater was a woman from Wisconsin with 5 teeth.
Oh,
He's going to the doctor. What would happen to you?
Blowjob.
I masturbated with a cheese grater.
I want to kill you with a motorcycle.
Oh no! Oh, sorry, not specific.
Oh.
If you got calluses
I
on
throw
your
my
dick, you're doing
motorcycle
something
at you. Now go away or I shall taunt you a second
Oh,
time.
wrong. Do a
KGB
second
guy.
time.
Yeah, KGB guy. He kind of handled that situation like kind of like a bitch.
I had a piece on my head. Where would you think I'd have it? On my dick? There's a deep line.
When they dropped it, we could have got. Yeah, see, that's what bugs me is like Moore and Craig were older. We could have gotten another out of Brosnan, and why we didn't is kind of bummed. And I think he deserved because he needed redemption for Die Another Day.
I liked his third movie. I did a lot, actually.
Which one? The World Is Not Enough?
The World Is Not Enough.
Oh, I love The World Is Not Enough. Big fan. Big fan.
And the
Die Another Day has one of the greatest fucking opening scenes.
The opening is great, but
after that, it's a complete mess.
And Halle Berry is an awful Bond girl.
Oh, is Jinx?
Awful.
Yeah, she's probably the worst one out there.
As far as Brosnan goes, I will never forgive the producers for giving him BMWs. That was just wrong. You don't give James Bond a BMW to drive. You give him a British car. I don't care what it is. It needs to be a British car.
Paying. Yeah, how much money they're paying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
Didn't BMW buy part of Rolls Royce eventually? I can't remember now, but doesn't BMW own part of Rolls Royce? That still doesn't excuse it.
No,
I mean, you think that kiss there, just what she was kissing her dad. It was just so strange.
Yeah, see, Vulcan Lewis is right. That's the real reason why it happened.
That's right. Yeah,
he paid more.
But it was death for Brosnan as Bond. As far as
I'm concerned. Absolutely. No, it was a death knell, and that's unfortunate because, it seems like between Moore, Brosnan, Craig, it seems like most of the guys on their final flick, they got out at a point where it's just like, it was kind of that's time to go. None of them went out but actually, no, I disagree on Connery. I feel like Connery left at a good, technically he left 3 times, but I feel like he left at the right time all 3 times, actually.
I mean, The Rock is one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
it's a fun movie.
4 times
Yeah,
then. Technically 4 times. If you want to get that, we could say 4 times he quit being Bond. So basically, he quit being Bond as much as Brett Favre quit being in the Packers. So okay, that
Tom Brady retired.
No, Tom Brady retired. Yeah.
Or Ric Flair retiring.
Oh God. Ric Flair has been, as I said on his channel, Ric Flair has been 60 years old for the last 30 years, the same way Patrick Stewart has been 60 or 70 for the last 30 or 40 years. Those guys, Danny Trejo too. Dudes who have all been, and Alice Cooper, dudes who have all looked old for the last 30, 40 years, but somehow still look the same in the last 30, 40 years.
John Carpenter has entered the chat.
He's been fucking 84 for the past 40 years.
Ric Flair, Ric Flair he's been in several plane crashes. He ain't gonna die.
Okay.
Ric Flair is like the Keith Richards of the wrestling world. He is so well preserved.
Straight up.
That's what I said. I always wanted to see, who would actually win in that fight, Keith Richards or Ric Flair on who's going to die first.
Ric Flair. He would
No.
fucking figure 4 Keith Richards, and Keith Richards' bones would break.
Then the roaches would sew up. They would come out of his body like out of Team America, and they would fix the broken leg.
I don't know, man. Those roaches might be dead by how long they've been sitting in there. I think they'd be dead by now. I don't think they've got enough to make it. Tom Cruise,
Shatner's still going. He's 91.
yeah. Now that's where the competition gets tough. Yeah, Shatner is. Yeah, he's 91.
Wow.
He's functional.
When Shatner dies, he won't actually have died. He'll just have to make it for the headlines. That man actually is trying to reach the singularity. Totally separate conversation, but there's a reason he looks as good as he does. He's spending money on it.
Let me tell you, there can be only one. Woo!
Oh, what they didn't know is it was also Island. That was almost like a dad joke. That was amazing. Thank you for that, Phantom Outsider. That was dad joke. Guys, it's the dove. It's the key.
The dove, yeah.
I actually love that scene where he's fighting the guys at the hockey rink. I actually thought he was gonna run over one of the guys with the
Zamboni.
The Zamboni. Thank you. I was almost kind of bummed he didn't, because it feels like halfway, maybe 60-70% of the movie, Roger Moore's James Bond starts to get a little bit more serious. Especially, it really picked up when he killed Locke. That was just like, okay, he means serious business now. He's not playing around. He's kind of he's in a mood now. He's sick of these guys as shit, and he wants to, kill them. He's told, like, this is going to be a very difficult mission, that this is something where you just got to kill him. So, yeah, I thought that was a good transition for his Bond at that point in time. Speaking of transitioning, wasn't there a Bond girl in this? Well, not technically, she's not a Bond girl, but she's a girl who was in this movie of the transition period. I think Gerry would know who that was.
Gerry.
I gave that look of like nobody cares, but there was Mark was the one who posted about it.
Yeah, because Clobber Times had mentioned it to me, and he thought it was the lead.
Yeah, throw it up. Throw Clobby under the bus.
I'm throwing Clobber under the bus, but it was actually. Then I looked it up. It was actually one of the girls in the pool scene, and tragic life for a while, because she was born with what's it called, 48XXY. So it's an intersexed
So she
chromosomally, and
you can go all the way.
The sad thing was she was trying to hide it the whole time. I don't think any of us here would have any second thoughts if you saw the actress or saw the scene. So one of the guys on one of the interviews on the interview for the DVD extras, he's like, she was the best looking girl on the set, but they outed her in a magazine, and her husband knew, but then once it became public, he divorced her, had the marriage annulled.
I've never seen that penis in our bed before.
Yeah, so it was interesting, but it wasn't as much of a.
That is the longest vagina I have ever seen.
Whoa,
the dangliest vagina.
Good Lord, that's a sock like nobody's business.
So yeah, the actress's name was Tula Cossey, Cossey.
Oh my God,
really? Bond girl.
But it's an interesting story, and it's. They all said they liked her on set, and but if you can technically that's the first first Bond girl, yeah. But yeah, now if you look at the pictures of her,
I
you're not gonna
wonder if you're making this shit up, Mark.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could get you to get your reaction there. Yeah, and I did get a good reaction from me on the Twitter stream. Yeah. But
her real name is Pusey. Is that
I know,
for real?
like, what the fuck? You're just making
That's what
this
happens
shit
when
up
you
now.
go in the back door.
Oh man, Not everyone
Man, your
wants
vagina is really tight. It squeezes.
dude. Oh shit! I got a poopsicle.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know vaginas had 2 sphincters.
different strokes for different folks.
Anybody in the medical field knows what I just said.
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
He thinks I'm still a virgin.
Yes, well, you get your clothes on, and I'll buy you an ice cream.
He probably should get some penicillin just for looking at it.
Oh my god.
There's no sense in getting off half-cocked.
Oh, no.
Loves the cock.
Loves it. Oh yeah. Well,
The
no,
number
no.
of places that thing's been, yeah.
Well, was it in Spy Who Loved Me or For Your Eyes Only? There was one scene where he was just all about the dong. He was giving a weird stat. I can't remember which one it was. I'm like, bro, this guy's all about the dong here.
Sensation means it's working.
You are a disgusting man. How dare you talk to me like that?
That's
Little
Brosnan's
dude-
wife.
Yes.
James, I love a movie.
Well, Moore fucked Brosnan's wife.
Yeah, or that's it's
Yes.
Wait, what?
yeah.
Chris Brosnan's wife.
In this movie, Moore fucked Brosnan's wife. In this movie, whether it happened in real life, I don't know. I would like to think that it did because Brosnan does seem like a genuinely good
come on.
dude.
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying Brosnan does seem like a good guy. I know obviously she tragically passed, and the wife he's had since then, Brosnan stayed with.
I don't care how
not like-
chubby she is. She's hot. She's still
Brosnan's
gorgeous.
wife.
When a man and a woman are filming a sex scene, I just assume they're doing it off camera as well.
Yeah.
You're going to be natural about it. Come on, we've got to go roll in the hay now.
Sandra Harris.
Slamming ass. There wasn't
That's
just getting
from
it, but
Young
slamming.
Frankenstein.
Making them cheeks clap.
I think a lady in your position would get to know many things. I can hear 70s say it sounds like some 70s would say. 70s seems like you would say many of these lines. This feels like that's why his 70s is favorite. More Bond, because all these are lines I can hear.
He
70s.
stole all my lines and put them in the film.
You hear that, 70s? You stole them damn lines. May I call
These
you
were my
tomorrow?
pickup lines for many years.
May I call you tomorrow, Countess?
Oh,
I like
I
how
love
it just
this
was
line.
like, I won't
need you anymore tonight.
Oh, man, I was like, wow, he just told his driver fuck off basically with that line. Wow. And they're God. And then that's it. Like not much longer after they fuck, she's dead. It's like she existed in that movie, just like, hey, Pierce,
Just
guess
hit
what?
his nut, and that was it.
She was actually
She's
married
got
to-
some. She's got boobs on her.
I guess she wanted some more.
Whoa,
Yeah, I
what?
think I got one clip here. Yeah, but she was actually was married to the brother of Richard Harris, Dermot Harris.
Another
You guys
gay man.
remember Richard Harris? And then, unfortunately, though, she got ovarian cancer in diagnosed 87 and passed away in 91. And then 4 years later, her daughter passed away from ovarian cancer in 2013, age 42. So she died at 43, and her daughter died at 42. And ovarian cancer took her mother's life too. So fuck cancer, but yeah, it's taken too many people I know. So, but yeah, very very sad. So, but yeah, stunning lady. Yeah,
Stunning rack.
Mm.
Sorry, I just like those are amazing boobs.
I'm sure. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
great
it seems like there's a lot of distracted males going around here. There's our boy Locke. I remember when I first seen this, I'm like, I thought he was gonna be the main villain until you realize he's nothing more than the fall guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought that was actually once again another thing that I really like about this movie is I was like, oh, because I remember at first being kind of confused, like why did he get killed so soon? And then it all started clicking. I'm like, bro, okay, I get it now. He's that guy. But
Well, I know Morris said he didn't like the fact that he kills Locke.
yeah, I know Moore's not happy about it. Which I know Moore. I like you. But I'm not with your statement, man. I think it was a great moment of growth for your character for this movie.
Yeah, I'd have
thought
done
it was
it.
a great moment. I feel like if anything, it elevated the stakes of the movie.
I mean, it takes out Blofeld pretty viciously too in the beginning. So.
But
Dropped
he was
him down
kind
a-
about it. He dropped
Did that
them off.
scene
Whereas
hard.
this scene was in cold blood, basically. This scene was
It's
like
well
he had the
earned, yeah.
intention to be. This scene, he was being cold about it too. Like he wasn't taking any prisoners. Whereas the scene with not Blofeld, it was. And thank you, Poots Cat. It's not Blofeld. Yeah, with not Blofeld, he was being kind of funny, being redonkulous, being cheeky about it. You know, he was just being his silly self. This was just like, nah, bro, I'm now actually pissed off. That's what that was. And what's up, Mars Monkey Max? Nice to see you, man.
I know Bond doesn't generally fall in love, but I bought this relationship. As brief as it was, I bought it, and that's why I bought him killing the person who killed her.
She's got a great ass too.
Oh,
Look at that! Look at those cheeks.
Pierce Brosnan has good taste, obviously.
Yeah.
The tits and the ass. God bless you, Mr. Bronson.
Bronson. Nice. Charles Bronson would be very satisfied if those were his selections, but it wasn't my options at the time.
Well, he is kind of a dirty dog himself, by the way, Bronson. He stole Kathy Ireland from our favorite little ducky actor from NCIS.
Oh, hold
Hey,
on.
Mark Monkey Max, welcome to the club.
Whoa, Mars.
You know what you got to play now?
Has become a member. Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Balls to the wall.
And Mars Monkey Max became a Balls to the Wall member. Thank you for becoming a channel member, sir. And I, along with the rest of the dudes in this channel on the panel, I hope you all have your balls to the wall. Thank you for supporting the channel, sir. I will actually, December, I'll actually have a rare month where I can do 2 member streams. So hopefully you can be around for one of them. And if you have the time or allow it, come on the panel and hang out. I'm actually be able to pull out 2 of them this month. So yeah, thank you. All right, dudes, let's continue to. Is this the scene where what's his name? The actor who plays, I think, Columbo actually gets shot. I think this is the scene.
Double
on the boat. Yeah, I think if not, we're getting close to that.
No, he didn't get shot until the end because they still have to go through the smuggling scene.
Oh yeah, but I don't. I'm not talking about getting killed, but I'm talking about him getting shot. I thought it was on the boat. In real life, he actually got shot, and they actually he got hospitalized. I think.
Yeah, he did have there was an accident with some shrapnel. There was an accident. They think there was a live bullet, or it was just like when you're shooting blanks. There's a lot of stuff coming out. The force coming out of the blank. So he got hit with some shrapnel, and Broccoli took him to the hospiol and helped. Like he rushed him there. Yeah. So they don't know if it was a live bullet that somehow got in, or something went wrong, or. But he did
sort of like what happened up Brandon.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So
he went all the way in,
but he was all right. Yep. And Topal, he's a great actor. So charismatic. He's such a charismatic guy. He's great in this role. Doesn't he come back in Octopussy? Remember? Yeah, he's back in Octopussy too. So
that is absolutely my least favorite Bond film and title.
Oh, dude, come
It
on.
was
That
just
title
too
is
fucking
great. Come on.
Come on,
pussy
now.
in it.
Electro
I don't
Pussy.
mind it
That's
in the film. I disliked it as the title because I'm just like, oh come on, man.
I told you guys that story last week. We went to see that for my birthday party in June as a youngin.
Because
And
my dad
mom's
didn't
like,
want to take me to it, Mark.
well, my
That's
mom took
why.
it and she told all the kids at the party, she's like, everyone get in the car. It's time to go see Electro Pussy.
The only part of Octopussy I liked was the fact that he had he drove that Alfa Romeo GTV6.
Yeah.
I love
also
that.
like that it was one of the films where Q actually showed up on location.
Yeah.
And brought him that alligator sub.
And then the captain that had to deploy the solar sail in Star Trek 4 got chopped in half.
What happened, Mark? What happened? Where'd
it
go?
my head. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh,
Here, I hit
hold
it.
on. It's right here. It's right here.
This is
Yeah.
what
there
happens
it
when
is.
he watches porn while we do a show.
Yeah. Gee, oh, thank God that didn't show up on the
I
screen.
was wondering what that sound was.
Yeah, I know.
Did you finally upload new content to your page, Gary?
It's what is that like sex talk? I don't know what that is.
What? I mean, you said he was watching Prawn. I figured you had maybe uploaded something new for him to
Prawn.
watch.
Shit, my wife just knocked on the door checking on
Yeah,
me.
he's watching
Oh,
my page. That's what he's doing.
Oh,
Comic nerds jerk off to my art.
I was talking about your only hands page.
Your only hand. Oh, that sounds like a thing Handy Randy would like.
Where's Handy Randy at?
Yeah, where is Handy Randy? He dare has the
Yep, Handy
audacity to
Randy.
not be
too many,
here.
too many women in this movie.
Yeah, too
Oh,
many women.
yeah.
Too many women.
Oh yeah.
He only likes one of the women in this movie.
Too many chicks.
The last
He does like
thing,
that one girl.
the last thing Matt needed to do is feel indoctrinated into being straight. That's the thing he didn't need. He's just like, no, this is wrong. I can't be straight. It's all about the handies. Well, Handy Randy. Ooh, Handy Randy. I bet you
That was pretty good.
I yet you give the best handies on the block, but I give them better, and you ain't even close when I give them the load that they explode out of their dick. Oh yeah!
BOGO sale at the warehouse. Jesse the Mind Ventura. Having
I mean, this is a bromance.
Oh, straight up, these dudes like this should have been a buddy cop movie.
It would have been a
Straight
better
up.
buddy cop movie.
Oh, dude, right? Bond and Columbo. Oh, I like that. Or Columbo and Bond. I mean, it doesn't matter who you have first, who you have front and back. You just need them together.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, M. I want to talk to you about these parameters for the mission.
Yes, this is an incredible stunt here. Love the scene, Putin's cat. I'm with you there, man. Yeah, this is that's the thing. This movie really ratcheted up the action because I remember one of my small complaints about Moonraker. As much as I love it, and admittedly more than this movie, my one issue is, and I think Redshirt and I were on the fence with this one on opposite sides. I felt like he said the second half of the movie he could take a little bit out, whereas I said the first half. This movie feels more all the way through, up with a few smaller modes of downtime. Whereas I feel like Moonraker's first hour is really heavy on the exposition. I feel like 10 minutes worth of it could have been dialed back, in my opinion.
I loved the train sequence in Moonraker, but this movie is just packed with sequences.
Oh, that's what I
You
love.
get these
It's
modern
packed.
movies that have like 2 or 3 set pieces in a 2-hour movie, but this film
like
just
7
has
or
like
8.
7 or 8 great sequences. You know, it's thick with it. It's very
I agree,
thick.
dude. No, I can feel the cream filling from this one. I'm with you, and I agree. This movie really, it fills you up. You really feel whole and complete with this one. Like, even though I do enjoy Moonraker overall, I do enjoy the pacing of this movie more. This is one of the things I do cherish about For Your Eyes Only more is the pacing of it, because it feels like it really definitely just it goes, and The moments where it's slow, it's more of it's almost like a bathroom break. It's just gal back down. Okay, I peed. Oh, let's get back into it type of thing. And it does. And each action piece is fucking awesome. They're all breathtaking. They're all edge of your seat, and a lot of them put you on the edge of suspense. You want, even though you know it's a movie about James Bond and the title character, you want to find how do you make him feel threatened. I feel like there was a lot of the sequences in this movie that did make it feel like, oh crap, like he's fucked. There were a few scenes I felt that, particularly the mountain scene, which we'll get to later.
Plus, this Columbo guy's a great guy. Yeah, no, he loves nuts there, see?
He likes to cup the nuts in his hand. It's true.
Yeah.
I like to suck on men's nuts. Yabba dabba 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 dick.
Another man's nuts.
Zorba the Greek.
Dabba doo.
I mean, Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah.
Is Bond high on opium after this scene? Because he did taste it.
Oh, damn. Oh, look at. Oh, yeah. I remember he. Go ahead.
Bond had a look on his face right there. I was like, "Did you just fart?"
Like John Kerry farted.
Eric Smallwell.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it yet, so
wait, what?
Save the surprise so I can watch it later.
The climate general himself has let off some bad gas.
But was it better than the AOC fart, though?
I've not seen the AOC fart. I need to see that.
Oh, that was great.
Smallwell one's still my favorite.
Which one?
She just keeps going.
Eric Smallwell, the guy who banged the Chinese spy, Fang Fang.
Oh, I didn't see that.
She was hot.
Okay, I guess we all got catch up on our farts. That's a weird statement to say, but yeah,
They're government farts.
Whoa, he looks like, hold on, go back to that shot. It looks like he was giving it to him from behind, and he was just like almost like, I hope no one catches me. Well, he's got that side eye. He's making sure no one's catching him, whereas he's like, don't worry, you take me from the back, I got this from the front. That's why he's got the gun out. So he's making sure anyone catches him, he kills them.
I'm gonna pick the Columbo. Gonna drop a digit right into his tiny, tiny bum.
His nuts are on the floor.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. The blowjob's not that gay.
So, if every guy could suck his own dick, every guy would try to do one, right? Right, so
today. I'm sucking my own dick.
But the question is, would you push down on the back of your own head?
Do we think it all?
Didn't you ever come up for air?
That's why I'll get the gold medal. Breath control.
Yes, well, you can't lose.
Oh, breath control.
I want to party with her.
I mean, yeah.
She's trying to present her ovaries so hard. God.
All I can say is don't grow up anymore.
Huh?
Oh, the opposite sex would never survive it.
She's got a womb to a kill.
The flesh is the mind is willing, but the flesh is bruised.
Old.
The mind is willing.
Holy
but the flesh is weak and
shit!
fuzzy.
Damn, that was fucking nuts.
That's what she said.
Hopefully she's not like Madonna and you have to staple a 2x4 to your back to keep from falling in.
Yeah. Pulls her skin tight, then puts her wig on.
Oh my god!
She did that little dial on top of her head. She just twists it until the skin gets tight.
Has anybody seen the movie Brazil with the main character's mother when she does the pulling her skin back shit? That's Madonna.
I think of as the Edgar suit in Men in Black.
Oh my god, yeah.
Your skin's
better.
If they can ever do justice to Discworld, that's a series I'd love to see. Maybe a lot of people haven't heard of it, but
we park our
in the same vein.
garage.
I love Discworld.
Guys, Carrie, I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Next, I gotta get some pizza.
Yeah, Discworld was great.
Pizza's on the way. I'll be making
Yeah.
a pizza crust video here.
God, I
in the
love
next
doing this
couple
show
days
with you
there,
guys.
Nick.
This is so much fucking fun. This is the only show I do because it's so enjoyable.
I mean, you're allowed to say boobs on it. It's good enough for me.
Boobs.
Yep.
I do it on my show. I don't care.
On this show, boobs are celebrated.
Our goal is within 1 year to transition completely over to Rumble because I'm sick to death of YouTube punishing us.
What's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
Yeah, I like that grin. That should have been his last film because he still looked young enough.
Yeah.
But in just a handful of years, man, he aged quickly for this film.
Yeah, you know, Charles Bronson was a very physical actor, and he held on to it till probably about Death Wish 2. And after that, I thought he probably should have hung it up, but he kept doing Death Wish movies. I couldn't buy him as a runner in Death Wish 3. I'm sorry. That's the only part of that movie that really fails for me. But Charles Bronson's like my go-to guy for like physicality. Just because he looked like he knows how to do a push-up. He has calluses on the bottom of his hands. You give me Roger Moore, and you're like, oh yeah, he's a spy. No, I really don't believe that. He might be.
You can picture him as a spy who doesn't do anything but fuck women and collect information.
That's it.
That's it.
All he ever does.
Yeah.
Yes. Balls. I'm back.
Balls. I like balls.
Oh, I've got that video on my thank you videos when people give me, I'll have my little, I like balls.
You got balls.
I wish they'd have done a sequel to that movie, but they said it was such a horrible experience.
I'll never do another.
Yeah, they said they didn't like making that movie. Yeah, they said didn't like making it.
Well, it was rough on the Chiodo brothers because they're the ones who did the puppets for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a tough ass job for them too. I'm trying to get them to come on the show because I'm friends with one of the brothers, and it's no point in just getting one of them. I want to get the brothers on.
Ew, yeah, you won't get.
I want to know how they did the scene with the fucking cockroach. How did you make that cockroach run from his mouth to the rocket? I want to know. God damn it. Yeah, Charles Bronson could climb a fucking rope.
Duh.
The thing also I want to point out, like why he killed her, is not just because he liked that girl. Bond has a great sense of justice.
Oh yeah,
with right and wrong, and he knows it. And he thought she was a good person, and to murder her pissed him off. So his sense of justice kicks in.
He also killed his contact Ferrara.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was just the one person he killed that Bond had had contact with. He killed multiple.
Yeah, so originally he was just going to throw the more one and have the pin going into the car that this guy catches, just be the enough weight to push it over the edge.
Which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, the directors ever said you got to, kick the car over the edge, and
it's more realistic because it wouldn't do it the other way.
But more, he didn't want to do it, but then eventually they did it. It definitely works in the
I mean, one thing, it feels like a rock with weight. I can understand that, but dude, a tiny paperweight pin, you're really trying to sell me on a pin. I'm sorry, Roger, but that's, dude, this.
If it was a Citroen, I can see him kicking it.
There is meaning to the pin. I get that, but I felt the weight of him just kicking that.
No, I'm glad it turned out the way that I'm preferable to the fact that they just had him kick it down. That's how I thought that was perfect. I just don't see why he wanted that changed. And I mean, the more I think about it, I'm just like, dude, nah, man, you had it good as was. There was no need whatsoever to change it. It was
now. This always reminds me, by the way, Nick, of Thunderball.
Yeah, this is what brings it back. Or Sam, like this movie was trying to do a few things: is bring Bond back to the ground, but at the same time, they're like, we also got to make our Thunderball here with the ocean scene. So it was more or less trying to be two Bond movies in one. And I do feel like
it's not going to be a Roger Moore movie without water involved somehow.
No, Roger
he's had water involved in every movie he's done.
Oh yeah. Roger Moore gets wet where he goes.
He also is a skiing in every movie that I remember. Isn't he in? Doesn't he ski in every fucking movie?
I don't
think
recall
so.
him
Quite a
skiing
few of
in
them.
Live and Let Die.
That's right.
Not in Live and Let
That's
Die.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he was no, not Live and Let Die. He wasn't.
And that's not really underwater there, by the way.
It's an amazing. Well, some of it is underwater with body
Some
doubles.
of it is, but those shots with her a second
Close
ago,
ups
that's
are
not.
not. Yeah. And how much better is this underwater sequence than the new Indiana Bones movie? I mean, with that, remember the horrible underwater sequence
I
in that, how
wouldn't know,
boring
Mark,
it was?
because I'm afraid of giving up my man card to watch the whole movie.
I never watched it, and you know what? I think my life is better off for it.
I'll tell you this though, Nick. The first 20 minutes with the CG young Indy, it's worth a watch. I enjoyed
I've
that, and I
heard
watched the
many
very
people-
last 10 minutes to see Marion because I've had a
I've
thing
heard-
for her since I was a kid.
I've heard many people say that, and I'm just like, here's the thing, it's hard for me. I just don't care. That's the thing. I don't feel
There's
the
nothing
need-
worse than seeing a long-haired weirdo that has developed apathy.
Yeah, the problem.
Like
Yeah, they
Mission
had-
Impossible filmed on the
Is there a
same
place
train
where I can
set and
donate
did
to
it
give
better.
money for that cause?
So-
Here's the thing. I remember back in 2008 where I'm like, man, he's getting up there to play this part.
Oh, that movie's not even worth mentioning. I get it.
No,
Yeah.
I know. And here we are another 15 years later. You're like, dude, this is happening again. I remember people having that conversation. I worked at a Borders back in 2008 when that came out.
Wow.
And people at the time were like, yeah, man. And people at the time were like, yeah, he's getting up there in age. But to them, it still made sense that he still did that one. To them,
Nick.
that could be his final hurrah. But then
How
all of a
dare
sudden
you be
we were-
ageist?
I know, right?
You ageist.
I know. So then here we are 15 years later. And he's doing it again. I was just like, holy crap. And the fact that he got injured the first week on set, that should have been the first red flag. Like, okay, cancel this fucking movie.
But
That should
Phoebe
have been
Waller-Bridge doesn't hear that.
He's 80. Yeah, he's
to
Harrison
be
Ford's
fair,
80.
he's a lot more functional. I don't know if he is the exact
He's in
same
great
age.
shape for 80.
He's
Shit,
he's in great
but
shape.
There's a difference between playing Indiana Jones and being in a fantastic shape for 80. I mean,
Yeah.
So, but the underwater sequence in the new Indiana Bones movie was just so boring. They spent all this money on it, and this at least has a lot of tension in it. You're not sure what's happening. The way they film it is great. You know, there's a lot of drama, and you know,
Dead
there's a good fight
bodies.
scene. Yeah, and you got hot girls, and well, you can't see her physique, you know, or she's not wearing the bathing suit in this one. But I mean, there's some you know gravity to the situation here. The Indiana
She's got
Jones
some
movie.
gravity on them boobies.
And a Putin's cat in the chat. I saw a picture of Clint Eastwood behind the camera on his latest film. That man is giving her.
He's going to die behind the fucking camera. I love it.
Yeah. He's like what,
Yeah.
91 or 92 right now?
Yeah, he's a fucking saint in my opinion.
And he still sounds like Dirty Harry when he speaks.
Yeah.
Still like
He's still grizzled.
He still has his edge 100%. It's so insane that he still sounds. It's like, man, dude.
Have you ever seen my Clint Eastwood meme? Where he's on,
no.
it was from that movie he did El Camino, where he's
Great
standing on
Torino.
the lawn with his
Yeah.
gun.
Gran
And
Torino.
you
And
see-
one grand.
and you see Pennywise standing there, and Pennywise says to Clint Eastwood, "What kind of clown do you take me for?" Cutting back to Clint Eastwood, he says, "The dead kind."
Far off one load.
Serious? No.
I made that meme and it just made me giggle. What kind of clown do you take me for? The dead
Where's
kind.
Tox's clip to play the Alec Baldwin clip when we need him? Oh man, Tox's clip is perfect. Oh guys, look, it's Alec Baldwin.
Where's Alex Baldwin's finger when you need him?
Oh, the gun just went off by accident.
I don't know who does that Twitter handle, but there's someone who does the Twitter handle Alec Baldwin's finger, and I'm like,
It's so cool.
Oh my God, that is messed
I'm
up.
looking it up right now just to see if this is the thing. Because that's
He shows up
Alec,
on like ETEP's channel on occasion, and or on like the Legion of Memers stream. He'll show up.
Alec Baldwin's finger. Wow. That's a real thing.
Salute you, motherfucker. That is so cool.
Oh, damn. That is so good. Oh, whew, man. My face is starting to hurt now from all this ridiculous. Oh, no, but
Chug.
what I do like about if there's one thing I do like better about this ocean scene compared to the Thunderball one, I feel like this one was a lot tighter as far as how the scene played out. Oh man, he deep throated that. Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Brilliant.
I feel like Kool-Aid Man would have been proud of you with that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna come. Oh yeah. Well,
Jesse Mine Ventura here. BOGO sales for Oktoberfest beers. Buy one, get one. Get them before the season starts for Bach.
Bach?
Is this
Okay,
where Futurama got the idea? Give him the clamps.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna come. Dude, this guy, I laughed my ass off when he fucking popped that thing on his back and then he goes exploding.
Yeah, it was good.
But no, I feel like this ocean scene. Even though I prefer Thunderball the movie more. I'm not having weird arguments, but I feel like this scene handled the ocean part better.
I'm glad it wasn't the last sequence, because we're in Act 3, and I was kind of looking at the clock on the movie. I was like, yeah, you know what? Just don't finish with this.
Well,
good,
if you were to do that, it would feel like there's still something missing. Almost like, hey, hold up, that's it. It would. That's how it would feel like if this was it. It would feel like, hold on, that's it, because it doesn't feel complete still. Because then once again, we're learning at this point that Locke was a fall guy, and that there's the real villain.
That's why I say there's like there's 7 or 8 great action sequences in this film, rather than the 3 you might expect with a modern movie.
Oh,
and that allows this to not be the last sequence, even though it's in the 3rd act. There is still more to come after it, right?
Yes.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Oh, Billy Mays is right, man. And the more I think about it, like I think I've been a little hard on this movie over the years. I mean, I think maybe I've been overly hard on it. So I think it's probably when we get to our final scores, I think I might give a higher score than I initially thought I would, because there is a lot of greatness to For Your Eyes Only. It's just the fact that it's following up at this point in time 6 movies of Sean Connery, 1 from George Lazenby, and on top of it 4 of Roger Moore's own flicks. I feel like this one definitely has its merits, and probably in my case, probably even more than some of the other Moore ones. I guess I could say better than some, not as good as others.
But you brought this up last week, Nick, that this was supposed to be done when they did Moonraker.
Yes,
and it should have been the film they did.
They should have just stuck with it.
Because he was still looking younger. By this film, he looked older, and it wasn't working as well.
Oh yeah, no, the age is definitely and now that us dudes, we all see it. It's just like that's why I still let the action sequences fly, because there are mistakes in it. Nothing's done where everything's all slick and cool, and he's just being cool and badass to a perfection. Because some of those scenes in like The Spy Who Loved Me, he was getting done to a T. This time around, he wasn't. So because of that, I was like, okay, you know what? Because of that, I can let it slide. It doesn't take me out of it. It doesn't ruin it for me.
You guys are missing one thing on this.
Okay.
This is still a Broccoli production, but it's John Glenn's first directorial movie. And this guy's been in the business for a while. He has a vision for Bond. And in all honesty,
I actually like his direction in this movie better than the other ones up to this point because he would not let them follow the fads. I thought he succeeded with this film.
Yeah, it was the most Bond one of the bunch. That was what
Hey.
really worked out this way. It was the most Bond one of the bunch.
Fads are not timeless. That's why so many movies will just become dated and lost.
Like the Marvels.
Yeah.
I feel so
Oh wait, that's
sorry.
already lost. I forgot.
There are some really good people that worked on that movie, but we'll never know their name. They're gaffers, they're camera people, they're just
Yep.
schlups. And I feel kind of bad for them, but I mean, they need to they pay a mortgage and pay a car payment. But the people that were responsible for that garbage pile, man, I hope they burn in hell. They've fucked over everything I wanted to know about the Marvel movies. I never need to see another one, ever.
But the Marvels was the biggest success, guys. You just don't understand how the numbers work.
Hey, I tried to get into the industry. I couldn't suck enough cock to be a cinematographer, but I definitely could have held the boom mic.
Well, that's why you got us.
Well, I got to
for.
tell you, dude. I got to tell you, man. You got to go to the executive producers. Stop going to the screenwriters. They're lying. They have no power.
No, I did that, but I pissed them off because I took sides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll do that. That'll do that.
It's a long story of its own, but yeah. I can definitely hold the boom.
For a quick second, like if you look at Bruce's hand for a quick millisecond, it looked like his hand was jerking it. But then you actually look, oh, hold on, he's brushing it. But it was one of those quick glances.
I've been thinking that all show. It just looks like he's been jerking it in the corner the whole dang time.
Well, that's why Gary's only like neck up because
You know what? We should put these two next to each other. They can romanticize it. Oh no, we can have him being above Bruce's handy. Look right there. Gary's right under the hand.
I tell you what, it's been a great stream for me because I've primed about 50 of these Urukai. And with Urukai, one thing is definitely for certain on Tuesdays. Meat's back on the menu, boys.
I can tell meat's back on the menu. I can see the tips of your fingers. And it looks like they've been somewhere dark.
Oh my God. As a plumber, you do not want to know, sir.
Oh, I bet you're plumbing all right.
That guy's protruding.
Those dolphins are hiding much.
That is very much a dick shot on camera. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I guess the keyboard got stuck when I was taking pictures of that. I was gonna put Mad on put Mad's face on that one.
Yeah, the only frame Mad will show up for.
Yeah, let me do that right now.
You gotta look in the mirror and 3 times keep the candle out of the mirror's reflection and say, "Man flesh, man flesh, man flesh," and then Mads will pop up and stream, and we'll have our handy Randy.
So what's giving this guy a boner?
Bond.
I knew it was behind the camera right now.
Is it the gun now? Maybe he's turned on by the gun.
Bruce has fudge on his fingers, but who's bunghole?
Worst name for a Bond villain, bunghole.
Did he at least get TP for it?
I'll pick it up.
I need TP for my bunghole.
I need TP for my bunghole.
Stream is in game.
My name is
I'm
Bond.
the great bungholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
That's his backup.
Looks like it's in the front.
Has plenty of stopping power.
That's his front gun.
This is my pistol. This is my gun. One is for killing, the other's for fun.
On this
Love gun. Love gun.
I was so worried when Anna, for that Star Wars girl, did the Henry Cavill reaction video because I thought she was going to get pregnant the moment she went outside, and found 2 roving sperm.
What?
I could have seen that happen.
Holy shit. Did I hear that right? Did you say that she was rubbing sperm?
No, Anna was going to bump into some roving sperm. Just some random sperm floating around on the sidewalk.
She was rubbing sperm. I was like, what the fuck?
This is the moment where Bond gets fucked. I mean, that was a very chivalrous move.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, those calculators weren't kidding back in the day.
No.
That could have been our Bond right there. That could have been our Bond. Look at him.
I'm glad he wasn't.
That's what we got instead.
I don't know, man. He's like Terminator, man.
He's like He-Man got melted a little bit by the sun.
He's pretty buff for a Bond movie villain.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he's
He reminds me of the blonde guy in From Russia with Love.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. This stream has been canceled for about an hour and a half now.
We already passed that, sir.
Yeah, we that ship has sailed, and we will never be able to get us back on the ship. But we've made peace with that.
We can't get demonetized any further.
Yeah,
that is definitely in a rear view mirror right now.
It's all good though. On Toxic Tuesday, we wouldn't have this any other way. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way you cook some truffles?
What? This is the shark scene. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is so good. No, this is one of those things where I feel like the music complemented the action better. I feel like the music in this was that, unlike the awesome chase scene with the not Volkswagen vehicle. I feel like this one, the music definitely was more suitable. That's for sure. I did enjoy it, and having the sharks there too, absolutely badass.
Did they send the stunt cock?
More stunt cock was getting cut up. You see all the hits that his cock took as he was bumping into those thingies. I don't know what they're called, but bro, he was taking a beating.
Coral? Is that coral?
Coral? I thought it was corral.
Corral.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Mars Monkey Max, Take My Breath Away was by Berlin.
Yeah, see, okay, if God, I'm already mistaking his name here. If Julian Glover was taller and had more hair on his head to make him look like Bond, I could get with it. But
if he had a 10-inch pot, he'd be fine.
You want to have a weenie?
If he had a 10-inch pot in his hair, a 10-inch pot in his hair would fix that man. But he does not have a 10-inch pot. That's his problem.
Oh, well, I just know there's a severe lack of. I lost my train of thought. Son of a fuck.
Use the extra large.
I don't remember where the fuck I was going. Am I behind the wheel?
You know the thing? Come on, man.
Do the thing.
Yeah, you got things to blow here. Yeah, a lot of things.
Underwater sex? I was kind of waiting for it. I was hoping they'd do it.
I thought it was gonna happen initially at the first viewing, but then I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. She's too electrified to do it. She wouldn't let once again because she's more about the mission. She's a mission first lady.
She is completely on priority.
And you know what? I kind of respect
there again,
that.
it's not underwater. That shot that
That looks like the orgasm shot.
Yeah,
I
blow
kinda-
the load.
Give it full power.
Dude, what? Whoa. What was that guy's luck? I think I'm going to get eaten by a shark, guys. If I stay in here long enough, something will knock down and convenient. Oh, shit. It just happened right now. Fuck.
Fuck, Gerry ain't gonna do shit for you.
Oh, crunchy meal.
Yeah. He got eaten up real good. Sharks had their meat. Oh yeah.
Back on the menu, boys.
Little
Well, somebody's getting eaten out.
in this on this boat.
Oh,
Meat is always on the menu on this boat. Just saying. We always have a. Yes, that is true. Ashton Kama is correct. There's a lot of parts of the Ashton in a lot of the scenes, from some of the skiing stuff to the sharks here to the boat, all aspects of the mountain scene as well. There is a lot of straight up realness going on with it, and I think that's what helps, even when you have the flaws of some of the inconsistencies of the music in some scenes, because the scenes are so like well done and believable. You're like, oh, okay, I can actually get with
The
this.
mixing room, they just fell apart.
You know,
I'd love to see
somebody-
David Arnold go back and rescore this film.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that people don't know how to build CRT TVs anymore, and it's like, if you keep fucking doing CGI, people are gonna forget how to do in lens, like to
Yeah,
film
tricks and
things
things, yeah.
for real. Yeah,
CJP, you're right. I would love to see if this movie had a more proper score. How much higher would I rank this movie? Because there would be I probably would have a even more positive outlook than I am right now. No, when I realize, okay, may have been a little hard on this movie, but there's scenes in here with better music. Holy crap! Scenes of
the
like,
music.
I guess, because there's too
The
much
music didn't
slowness.
bother me in this movie, but I don't remember it. I never thought of it. It never really like enhanced anything for me.
My dad had the soundtrack on vinyl, and so he had dubbed it off to a cassette. So we listened to it a lot in the car when I was little.
Okay. I feel for me, there's just way too much of the slow stuff, and then when there's not the slow stuff, the stuff that gets, I guess you could say, is a bit more amped up is really all they amped up. It just feels, well, not. It doesn't feel like it really fits the scenes that are going
No,
on with the action. It doesn't
would be
fit.
better.
It's very mismatched.
Yeah, if
Well, Bill
it feels
Conti-
like it would
oh,
be
I'm sorry.
better if it was on like top 40 radio as like bumper music for a radio program or whatever. But for this movie, it doesn't work. It would have worked for maybe something more pop at the time, but James Bond really needs almost classical music with a current day artist.
I
Well, the only
agree.
memorable
Well
music
said.
that Bill Conti has done is for Rocky.
Rocky, yeah.
He's done a lot of soundtracks, and nothing he's ever done is memorable. Because other than Rocky, he nailed it. That was it. That was his.
I
his money shot.
I returned my Rocky 2 LP back to Columbia House because it sucked. I listened to that 2 times on the LP spinner, and it was so bad. I sent it back, and I sent some extra money for Empire Strikes Back. Back whenever Columbia Records, remember them? You get 11 for just the price of a
Sent
penny.
away a free record. Sent back a free record. Was that
Yeah,
bad?
I sent back a free record. Give me something different. I didn't realize this was shit. And
He also did Masters of the Universe, though,
which is still not memorable. I mean,
I don't remember the music to that movie. I love that movie. I hate the Rocky 2 soundtrack.
The Right Stuff's not bad. The soundtrack he did for that, but it's still not memorable. He doesn't. Rocky is where he nailed it with creating a theme.
Yeah, he does
That's
good
it.
with that theme, but I don't think there's ever anything else he ever did that was worth a shit.
No, I
And
agree with you wholeheartedly.
I'm not trying to bemoan the man. He did good for what he did, and he earned a paycheck for the things that I don't value. That's great, but you say him, and all I'm thinking is Rocky. Yeah,
You only hear that. I hear so many other songs. Burning Heart, Hearts on Fire.
This is a good line. Sorry to interrupt. but she's
No,
like,
no. Interrupt that. Because, Hearts on Fire. There's a great line, unfortunately, because we were having a good conversation, I want to mention, is the line where when Bond went to church and he says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And then his cue is like, "Oh, that's putting it mildly, 007. Oh, how excellently timed that was, having Q
Yeah.
for that say he strips off his fake sideburns that he has. So good.
I think
Having
I always loved Q busting Bond's balls. He did it quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's no John Williams, K9. God bless you.
Now,
Q's
no,
awesome.
it's always going to be Williams, Goldsmith, and Horner for me. Somewhat Basil Podoros.
Yeah, Horner. Yeah.
Basil Podoros over Horner, but yeah, other than that, yeah, that's my top 4.
Horner.
Horner just repeated it.
Yeah, that's a heck of a name.
Horner. I love
Like
that.
I've been watching Titanic with my parents, and there's this the scene where the camera comes up underneath the boat and the music's swelling, and Dad goes, "Sounds like Star Trek 2."
What?
It wasn't a composer, so he obviously just plagiarized
Yeah, they
himself.
redo things. Yeah.
That is a movie with a soundtrack.
Now, this is a scene that apparently had it's not really made clear how much of it was real, but apparently there's a good chunk of it that was. I'm sure
Oh, that stunt is incredible in this.
Yeah,
so.
dude.
Yeah, so the stunt actor Moore hated heights to begin with. I hate heights too. But some of the when they're showing the making of the movie, they're like, "You want me to walk there near the edge?" He's basically Roger Moore would never say "f you" on the like that, but that's what he was thinking. And they had to rig this so you're not using a bungee cord. So if you fall when you're climbing like this, the deceleration. Anyone who's a fan of Spider-Man knows what happened to Gwen Stacy. So the deceleration can kill you. So they had to have a special rig. I should have clipped it, but the guy was, we don't want to, I guess we get in trouble if I play, but he's talking about, he's like, I'm getting up to do the stunt. He's like, and I'm looking down at a cemetery. I can see a cemetery and I can see caskets. And I'm looking at the rig that they set up and they've got all these counterweights in a box that looks like a casket. He's like, I thought that was going to be the end of me. So that's that scene coming up when, he falls off the cliff and, he's actually supposed to look like he's knocked out, and he was so excited. He's like, "I'm alive!" That then he remembered to pretend to be knocked out
Act
for
like you're
a
passed
second.
out, right?
Yeah, but they said they cut it out. But I mean, these guys are risking it all. I mean, he's up in the air, and he's like, "Yeah, the rope didn't break, thank God." I mean, there was no say. I mean, there's just that rope. That's it. There's no extra say, and that's him going down there. He's like, I'm 5'5", and he's like, Roger Moore's like 6'2", 6'3". He's like, but I guess from far enough away, they put a big wig on me. I guess no one can tell, but that's him falling right there, doing that stunt for real. Before CGI, or maybe Tom Cruise, would do something like this, but or they probably wouldn't let Cruise do it, but they weren't sure it was going to work.
This is one of the few scenes where I truly felt like, oh crap, like this actually makes it feel like the title character of these movies could actually die. Like this scene was definitely one of those ones, because not only did it come down to one of those hangers being attached, but the fact that he was adding weight as he was going up, also using a shoelace from his boot. Everything about it felt like, oh crap. And then you got a guy who's knocking him up from the top. Everything about this, like, oh damn, this, and then once I look at the angling, like I was just like, oh crap, this really feels like he's truly being thrown right here. This definitely felt like this was one of the closest moments that it felt like Bond could actually die, was the scene. Probably in the entire series of movies, it's definitely one of the scenes where he felt the closest
he was
to death in my eyes.
And I
Bruce?
do want to say,
sorry.
Good.
And then Red Shirt go after Bruce.
Yep.
Go ahead, Red Shirt.
When I first saw this movie, I thought this shoelace trick was nonsense. And then I found out what a Prusik loop was, and that it is actually, in an emergency, a rope climbing knot. You could put a loop and wind it around a rope, and you can actually climb up a rope using 2 loops like this. And I was like, you got to be kidding me when I first saw it. But in an emergency, it's theoretically possible, although I sure as hell wouldn't want to climb more than 10 or
I was going to say, did you go out and try it?
I took river rescue classes. We used the same kind of loop to make drags, winch setups to pull rafts and canoes off of rocks in the river in Whitewater. It does work. It takes a bit of stuff, and you have to know what you're doing. And I wouldn't trust my weight to a shoelace in any case. So, that's like, well, it's either this or I die. So I might as well try the shoelaces. But no,
I
it's
really like this scene, except for the fact that it's Roger Moore as Bond. I think this is a really good scene. I think they did everything right. All the cuts are good. Look at these. Look at these camera angles. They did everything right. It's just they're trying to convince you Roger Moore is doing this. He's 007. And I'm like,
right.
No, he's a CPA. Stop that.
I love this scene. I understand your point. That's fair. I actually was bought with this scene, even with more. I can see why you don't, but for me, this scene was just absolutely fucking awesome. And it's saying a lot considering the amount of chase scenes, fights, underwater scenes, helicopter flying scenes. We've had a lot of like action-based pieces in different variations, and for this to be the least physical countered one, and yet it still feels just as suspenseful as the rest, maybe in some cases more. I think that's saying a lot about a testament to how strong this scene is, because this really does. This leaves you breathless. At least for me, it did. I was like, "Fuck, dude!" By the time he got
Yeah,
up
I'm
there,
afraid of heights.
Oh, see, I love heights. I've been on the Sears Tower, John Hancock. I've gone
Whenever
skydiving.
you're up so high,
Fuck that
all you
shit.
gotta do to conquer that is
I've-
just
I've-
recognize if
I've
you
gone-
fall more than 35 feet, you're gonna die. So it's okay. If you fall, no big deal. You're good.
There's a chairlift at Whistler that always freaks the fuck out of me because it goes way over this cliff, and it's like there's a couple 100 feet between me and the chair, and I'm just gripping on. There's some crazy
And people
shit
do fall
that-
off
that don't even-
chairlifts. I mean,
Yeah, there's some crazy
went
shit that
off
don't
the
even put the
chairlift
safety bar
element
down, and I'm
too.
like, no, I'm putting it down on this one.
And hell, there
Well,
was
we were getting on
that ladies that got launched out of her house on a chairlift.
Say that again.
There was a lady in the 80s who was launched out of her house on a chairlift.
Holy shit!
In the movie Gremlins, and I
Gremlins, right?
but shit, my wife, we were getting on the chair, getting on the chairlift. It was one of those fast lifts that go up to like 40 feet pretty quick, and she was falling off, and I grabbed her and pulled her back on the chair. I mean, the chair didn't catch her. She didn't sit all the way back, and she was going to go off. And
I see it all the
saved her.
time. People are just like crazy.
People are
Just
fucking
don't
around.
fucking sit
They're not
down
paying
properly. They're dangling off the edge. Guy has
Yeah.
to hit the emergency stop.
I was like,
So, yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah, I've been on the John Hancock head. John's hand on his cock. It's not John Hancock. It's Herbie Hancock. Anyways, no Chris Farley references aside. I've gone skydiving before too. I did that 2 years ago. That was absolutely awesome. Had an absolute blast doing that, and would absolutely jump out of a plane again.
Hey Nick, you know that song "High Speed Dirt" by Megadeth?
Yes, that
That's
was
what it's about.
Countdown to Extinction.
Yep.
People say I sound like him when I sing.
When you do Dave Mustaine, you sound like Dave Mustaine.
That's what people say. Yeah.
Give us a couple bars. Come on.
I think I gotta hear him over karaoke in order to really, because have you heard some certain vocal styles in isolation? It's weird. It's really weird. Even vocals that I've liked, it's weird.
I believe him. He's got the right pitch for Dave Mustaine, but that's just me.
How do you jump off a perfect good? How do you feel? Oh, dude, I felt awesome. I would do it again. I remember like the first thing I did was when they brought me up to the front of the plane with the guy that they had. Also, the first thing I did was look down from out. I'm like, whoa! And before you know, he's like, all right, jump, and we jumped, and now it's just like, whoa. And then landing on the ground was really cool. I could probably say I landed on my feet too. So I felt pretty cool and bragging rights to say, yeah, we got the feet. And no, I don't know the Point Break reference, even though I've watched that movie plenty of times and I still don't know. So I admit it.
You're better than me, Nick. When I jumped out of a perfectly good airplane, I pissed myself.
Did you really?
I did. I fucking pissed. I pissed myself, and my trainer, my attaché person, was like really disgusted. Did you just pee? Yes.
Don't
The
eat
water
the
turned
Now you
red in
know.
the swimming pool.
Were you going tandem?
Yes.
So you peed right on him, is what you did.
He's my property
Why am I
now.
getting
Golden
warm?
shower.
Why is my back all salty and warm?
Oh,
Wait,
how
why
do
is
you
he
know-
salty?
Mortal man.
How did you know he was salty? That's the
Yeah,
part I'm weirded
what's
out
up with
about.
that?
Make that make sense. How do you know he
Because
was
there's
salty?
not much sodium in pee, dude. What's up with that?
Oh my God, the cock.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
People's heads roll.
Holy shit.
That's why I was kind of quiet for a while. I was doing that.
Oh, Mark, you
Fucking love your
genius.
work, Mark.
Mark, you have been doing wonderful work tonight with all these in sync lists.
There's a lot of
70s.
material to work with. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of material to work with. All right. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you didn't have a shortage
Not
of
in
material.
short, there wasn't a lot of material to work
No
with.
shrinkage here.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, damn. Yeah, this is the final action piece, and it's just a very quick, straight to the point, shoot 'em up, and oh, hey,
Betty
look, that guy's
Solid.
naked. That guy's naked at the bottom.
I was watching the film clock. I'm like, there's 8 minutes left in this movie.
Yeah.
But they're somehow going to pull this off.
And they do, though, but they do, and it's good because, obviously they pretty much kill the shit out of guys, and they toss out the freaking Bond tossed out the device.
ATAC.
And yeah,
The
thank
ATAC.
you. ATAC. And yeah, he's just like, you guys can't get a hold of it. I can't get a hold of it. And you know what? Hey, fair enough, man. I think that's a good way. And she has a new sponsor. BB has a new sponsor. So that was her
Yes.
character arc.
Oh, now she's bending over.
She went from having a sponsor and being a whore to I have no sponsor to I have a sponsor again.
She's got quite the posterior. You better go for re-entry.
That line, seriously, is fucking classic. The re-entry line.
What's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
Oh, classic.
Oh, so good.
That time, I heard you coming.
Dang.
It sounded like the ocean.
I blame her for my yellow fever.
Oh, wow.
Who do you blame
I
for
blame her
dengue
for my
fever?
right fever.
Oh.
Hey, my ex-wife actually looked like her when she was younger. Not so much now.
You know what? Don't feel bad. She doesn't look like her much anymore either.
True.
I think what's even better than that, her quote was Dolph Lundgren's expression when she said that. And because I'm going to play again just so you guys can get the smile on Dolph Lundgren's face.
That time, I heard you coming.
We had a lot of clips from that movie that were good. Yeah.
Good old Tia Carrera, man. She was a hottie in the day.
Oh, yeah.
You still do it.
But
Better-
no one cares
I
when
have
you
no
have
idea.
a man. You have a man in the movie who Brandon Lee saw his dick and said, "You had the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man." So why is she better when you have Dolph Lundgren? Dude,
Right.
Showdown in Little Tokyo to this day was definitely one of those toxic movies. Oh,
I regret
Does
not
that mean you're
rejoining
planning on
you.
doing it?
Oh, we did.
Oh,
I regret not being here for that. I really do.
me too. That movie cracked me up.
That was seriously like that. That was definitely one of the wildest show. Like, especially the first time we ever played those clips. I think we played those clips like both like 20 times each, and everyone was still laughing their asses off.
Tomorrow
At
the
those
ribs
scenes.
hurt. Don't know why the ribs hurt so much. Mark's over there just laughing to himself.
Oh yeah, this guy backfired really quickly. The Russian, the guy who's Russian but doesn't really look like he's Russian, but it's okay. It ain't the
German.
Looks sweet.
By the way, Nick, just to let you know, I almost fucked with you today when you were on Midnight's Edge talking about Godzilla, and somebody brought up Shin Godzilla, which was just a terrible film. I was going to say that's what it looked like when Nick went through puberty, that entire movie. But I didn't say it because I love you so much.
No, you should have. You should have. You should have.
I still have a hard time thinking that Nick's over 25. He looks so
Shot.
young.
I never pictured him being any bigger than 6 inches.
He's the oldest 12-year-old I know.
He's a good 13 and a half.
It's only 6 inches, but I throw it like it's 2 feet.
Holy shit. Damn. Anyways.
Didn't mean to put you out there like that, Nick. I didn't want
it was funny. It was fucking good. It was
you have the biggest dick I've ever
Nick's nickname in high school was the Fist.
Well, actually, funny story. I had this one friend of mine named Ryan, and his dad thought I was gay because he said that I never talked about girls. Like he didn't say it to me, but he always mentioned where it's like, every time you're a dick, he's always talking about guys. He's always talking about action movies with guys. He's always talking about band members with guys.
Okay, what action movies with girls are you going to talk about? Like the 3 movies with fucking
he never brings up a girlfriend. He's always bringing up other dudes he knows. I was like, this is hilarious. This guy truly thinks that. Okay. Yeah, I never understood, but man, the man was like really like petrified that his son hanging out with me, even though there's literally nothing there. But I never brought up girls, so I guess that was my job when I went there. I had to bring him up a certain amount of times, otherwise there's a sketchy problem. Fucking funny shit. I was like, whatever. If he feels that way that I am, then let him think that. I'm not gonna change his mind. I'm not even gonna attempt it. What fucking ever. But our boy Bond saves the day, and technically Columbo did too.
Yeah, I just want to show. I just want to show the monks in the in the monastery in Greece. The production had paid off. I guess the bishop, but none of the money.
The
went
holy
to the brothers.
community of Meteora.
So they were protesting, and they put all these sheets out to screw up the filming of the movie. So they put so they couldn't film there. So then they actually had to build another house in another spot because they were they kept blocking their film in there. So it was hysterical. So I guess they didn't get their money.
Greek Orthodox Catholics.
That ain't the only weird thing we've noticed this movie. I would strongly suggest you catch the replay of this entire thing and catch every other weird thing we've noticed this movie. Trust me, there are so many weird things we've noticed that people never watch. Oh, whoa. That dude looked like he just came.
Post-nut clarity. Right there, post-nut clarity.
So now we know what he looks like what was it, Admiral Ozzel that he played?
That's a
general.
Painful.
General. He was a general in Empire. He commanded
General Veers.
General Veers. So now we know what General Veers looks like when he comes. Okay.
That dude got blown hard. Holy crap.
That no, it would not.
Huge.
That's when the wrong, and you're just like you're regretting all of your life choices.
All right. Action Com for $2 says who should finish Christophos? Easy, Melina. And it looks like Bruce agrees with me. Melina on Bruce's part. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's bad. Like, it wasn't a deal breaker for me that Columbo did it. It made sense with the contacts. But preferably in a perfect world, it should have been Melina. This was one of those rare movies where Bond didn't need to do the final kill. It would have made sense for someone else. This is one of those rare exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, I like this. I like this ending a lot.
Yeah, it's a good ending. It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Rusky stops Bond from being killed too, because that'll cause them
And
international.
that's that
incident,
character
too.
that comes back and back. He's been doing it for like 30 years, playing the same character.
Yeah, because I think
Same actor.
Living Daylights is the last time.
Gogol, right? Wasn't that his name?
General Gogol, yeah.
Yeah, General Gogol. He's played the same character for 30 years on Bond.
I'll give you the Gogol.
I think Shattered.
Only 2.
All
Yeah,
right.
that we know of though, because as Bond travels, he's bagging the ladies at every port, right?
As I could tell, this movie's about to wrap, and we see we all know what's going to happen with Bond, because if there's one thing that is being a constant in the Roger Moore end, is that Roger Moore ends the movies with having a lady in bed or in a pod. Or actually, it was a pod.
Parrot.
2 straight movies, it was a pod. It was between Moonraker and Spy.
Right?
Yeah. No, and then she literally says, "For your eyes only," too. On top of it all, Melina did. That's when she proved she was about the mission first, because it didn't happen until the end of the movie. Bond actually had to put in some work with this one. He had to put in some work.
I mean, he gave up on the screamer, and he got someone who's probably going to be quiet. She's very sexy and very classy, but I don't think she screams during sex, for better or worse. I think she's probably pretty quiet.
Do you think Christados or the Columbo's going to bang both of them? The trainer and the skater.
Whoa. I got nothing.
Probably.
I got nothing.
It looked like he was getting both. He's going to get both of them. It's like, I will unbond you, Bond.
For me, it fits. She's classy, and he likes classy women.
You brought up the screamer thing, and it made me think of a funny story that after this is done here, I gotta share with you, because it will make Nick blow snot out his nose.
Oh,
when I tell
I could be
fucked up thing that happened to me in
do
real
that
life.
now?
It was hilarious. You want me to? I'll tell it now.
This woman's pretty still during sex.
That's fine. Go ahead and let it out, and while he lets
Back
it out,
in
and
my
we get to
when I was
watch
still
the
a
scene.
Playboy.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No.
I was gonna say, check. Get your scores.
I want to
ready
hear the
while he
story.
sounds out this
You
final
got to
thing.
tell it now.
Yeah, before the score. So I had this girl over. She was a screamer, and it was on the weekend, and all my friends were out, and my roommate was out, and so I thought I had the place to myself, and so I'm banging her, and she's just making so much fucking noise. It's ridiculous. It's like I'm killing somebody in my bedroom. And I grab her by the mouth. I'm like, please stop. It's fucking stressing me out. And she just was like, just right through my hand, biting my hand. It was fucking crazy. I get done. She's just laying there like half unconscious. I get up out of the bed, throw on my Playboy, one of those really nice, heavy paisley fucking bathrobe that went down to my feet, put it on. I go walking out, walk through the hall, through the dining area into the kitchen. And right before I entered the kitchen, I stopped because I realized something moved to my right in the living room. And I slowly turned to my right, and there are all my friends and my roommate with all their women, and they're sitting there very quietly, all staring at me.
Who did you
And
kill?
I just sort of looked at him. And my buddy Sean McComb, I love this guy so much. I just turned and I looked right at him and his girlfriend, and I said, "So, who's next?"
Wow.
And he fucking loses his mind. He goes, "Don't you ever fucking say that to me. What did you do to her?"
Wow.
I made her watch the Marvels. Oh, just kidding.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Action Tom. Yes.
Wow.
That's like the worst
Low-
thing you could ever do to her. Oh God.
Low blow. Blow.
Oh, I love this
Low
ending.
blow. Give us a kiss. Give us a
With
kiss.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, the Margaret Thatcher and her husband. This is fucking great.
Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day.
Imagine those titties sticking out
Flaccid.
like a pinky finger.
Oh, damn.
Number 13. Naked pictures of B. Arthur.
You know you're being
Ooh.
fisted by a gentleman when he keeps the pinky out.
I like how Q and the crew have now just accepted 007's ways. So now it's like, all right, fuck it, we'll work it out, we'll figure it out, we'll call the prime minister because we know Bond's doing the deed. So we've accepted it. So we'll just adapt and we'll work around it. They've come to accept that they can't stop the ending of the movie, so they're just gonna let the ending be. I'll read off some scores real quick here. Let's see here. Keely Chow, Toxicity, overall 10-10-10-10. Jonah Hex, I give it 7 out of 10. Lalitas. Josh Post, overall 9 out of 10. Toxicity 6. Comedy 10. Oh, he likes his comedy. Clay Tomas, and I was going Clay. Toxicity 6, overall 9. Vulcan Lives, overall 8. Toxicity 7. Alrighty. Well, I guess while I assemble dudes go first, I will let CC start. On his
Sounds like we need to be a little more toxic in here. That's all right. I mean, I don't know if I like getting shit in my dick, but
Hey,
I'll teach their own.
what's
Yeah,
with
she
that little
wants to be
piece
a
of
virgin
corn on the
still,
end of
you
your
can go that
penis?
route.
What's up with that? Where'd
You
that
know,
corn
it's-
come
it-
from?
It's a kink. I give you that. I don't really necessarily go against it. I'm just saying, if you're going to stick your dick in the back hole, you might get some corn on your dick. It comes with the territory.
Well, corn dick and all. What are your final thoughts on For Your Eyes Only?
You know, I used to watch all these movies all the time, and this is one I completely forgot about, but I'm kind of sorry I did, because it's, now that I've watched it again with fresh eyes after a few years, I think this is one of the better Bond flicks overall. Not the best, but I would certainly say it's in the upper half at the very least. This is a very solid movie. There's a lot going on here to like.
What about in the Moore category? Where would you rank this in the Moore movies? How about that?
I love Moore. He was my first. And I love Moonraker. I love Moonraker a lot. And, I would say it's probably third overall in the Moore films for me, maybe fourth. Certainly a strong third is possible. There's a couple I like better. It's in the mid to upper range for sure. But I mean, I love Roger Moore. I love his kind of like classy kind of levity that was brought there, and yeah, go with that.
Okay, killer man. Well, hey, I appreciate hearing your
Who's
thoughts
Sean Roy Torney
on this flick. How about you, CJP? Your thoughts on For Your Eyes Only?
Well, this is always one of my favorites. Again, I'm one of the few people that actually liked the soundtrack for this one, because I heard it so often as a youngster.
I'm just glad you stand by it. I respect that.
I
Even if
love
I'm not with it.
But and this was always my favorite Moore film, other than Spy Love Me and this one are always kind of neck and neck for me of the Moore era, because I love Spy Love Me for the Moore-ness of it, and of course the introduction of Jaws, and of course the chick that played the Russian commander was so goddamn hot. Yeah. So I mean that was peak Moore, but this one felt more like a Bond movie. for me. And now Roger Moore wasn't the first. I saw Connery first, even though I was young and it was all on VHS. Dalton was the first one I saw in theaters. So he's kind of really my Bond in that respect, because he's the first one I got to see for the first time with fresh eyes. But I love this movie. I really do. And I always have. So, definitely it's not as toxic, because obviously if it was toxic, he would have banged the figure skater.
Yeah.
So that's only about maybe a 6.5 on the toxicity, but it's a 10 out of 10 movie for me. And it always has been.
Okay. Killer, man. All right. Dustin.
Okay. So the more I've been watching more of these Roger Moore and watching, 007 and stuff, it's like I get a little conflicted, because he's either got to be like the worst spy or like the best spy. Because it's like, if you watch him, like in the beginning of the scene, the one we're seeing right now, like the priest is like, hey, they're sending a helicopter for you. They called. And he just gets in and check. Like, you would think a spy would check someone's credentials before he gets in the plane, right? At least that's what I would do, right? And then he ends up in a helicopter, someone trying to kill him. So I don't know. I just I was talking with with the wife about this, and I'm like, I just don't know if he's as good a spy as everybody as you let on, right?
Well, I think that's his regular pilot, and then Blofeld takes control, right? Of the helicopter, or was he that was that rigged? Or was that always planned?
That was one of Blofeld's employees. He says one of my less
Blofeld.
useful employees.
So Bond screwed up there, yeah.
And not Blofeld.
The Blofeld like bad guy.
It's Dr.
Claw. It's Dr. Claw before Inspector Gadget.
Right.
The last thing I ever do.
So I call him Fulfeld.
Blofeld?
And I agree with the sentiment that this if Bond was as toxic as we would like to think he is sometimes, he would have totally, got with
full-blown
the figure
AIDS.
skater. Yeah. Well, that too, because he probably has no idea what a condom is, and
neither
only
do I.
condoms, baby.
That's right. They use that gag so well in that movie.
What is it?
Sailors.
Only sailors use condoms, baby. Not in the 90s. Well, they should, those filthy beggars. They go from port to port.
I just think so. I think toxicity, I would have to agree with, with the sentiment that I think 6.5, 7 on toxicity.
Okay.
And then I think overall, this one was entertaining. I don't think it's my favorite Bond, so I'm probably going to give this one just an 8.
Okay. Hey,
I didn't mind the music. And again, I don't know, I didn't mind the music as much, so it didn't distract me from the movie.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, all good, man. All good. All right. Gerry.
Oh, that's me. Well, look, since I was a kid, I used to jokingly refer to this movie as For Your Pies Only. And and now that I think about it, I didn't think about it sexually, but yeah, because women's vages are referred to as pies. So I guess it was her pies only that he wanted. And so I give the film look, story-wise, it's a good story. It's a solid story. And I thought the direction was done well. So I give it a good score of 9. The film overall gets a 7 though, because I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite Bond film. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Soundtrack gets a 5, except for the theme song, which I disagree. I like the theme song that Sheena Easton sang For Your Eyes Only, and I give that one a solid 8. And as far as the list of all the songs that I've loved from Bond, the underwater scenes, I agree, some of the best underwater scenes in a Bond film since Thunderball, and I like that. I give that a 10. Blofeld's death definitely gets a 10 here, or non-Blofeld. Blofeld,
yes, not
and
Blofeld.
But I don't think it's very, because they had already adopted feminism into the films at this point. So I put it at a 5 for any toxicity. It's just, yeah, he's banging the women, but he's so respectful the rest of the time with them, including avenging their deaths, you know. So, also, did the cat die? I'm curious.
No, the cat jumped off before.
Oh, thank God, because I like cats. So.
The pussy lived on.
I love the movie would be canceled.
Yeah.
Long live the pussy.
Oh, that was that Roger Moore's O face? I think that was Roger's O face.
Yeah.
That's the confused why am I getting pegged O face.
What was that going in my ass?
I do believe someone has dropped a digit on me.
I guess Blofeld really rigged the seat.
Oh my God, the cock.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
That time I heard you come.
All right. Ilapio Geary.
That's it, man.
All righty. Well. Bruce.
Okay, so for toxicity, this movie scores a 6, barely in the 6s, by the way, a 60 out of 100, because he did not pork the nubile 19-year-old wanting a dick, and all he had to do was just slip her dick; she'd be happy. No conversation, no begging for mercy, no crying like fucking what is that Casino Royale Bond bullshit. Anyway, that's a toxicity meter. If you rate this as a Bond film without Roger Moore's performance, I would say it's a solid 80 out of 100. And I think that's for a lot of reasons. You have really good warehouse scenes. The practical effects in this movie are really damn great. This movie here was where they started to really take a lot of notes from what was being done with John Dykstra, and they were trying to implement movie-like magic in that aspect, but the budget was slashed. So this movie really, on the practical effects side of it, I would say it's probably a 90 out of 100 because they tried really hard just to do so much with less money than what was normally available. And they really succeeded with it. They even got rid of the Lotus just to show you that Bond was, capable of driving a car that every man could drive. And I thought that was great. Roger Moore drags this movie down for me so hard. I've let you guys know my disappointment with Moore every step of the way, and I don't dislike him as an actor. I think he's great in certain parts, especially The Saint. I think that's his defining role, and I know he did a lot of films for Bond. He outkilled every other Bond out there. That's great, but he just completely never sells me as Bond. The last movie he did, Moonraker, should have been this actually, because he was still young enough to pull off some physical stunts. This movie covers up quite a bit. They do a good rock climbing scene, but they don't really try to blow you away with all the green screen or matte shots with Moore trying to ascend a rope. I'm very happy with that. Moore is really good when it comes to talking, when it comes to gathering data. You throw him in a fight scene for me, and I'm done. I clock out. I'm out. See ya, fuckers. Out. By peace. He gets a 30 out of 100 for me. And this movie here, line. I hate to say that, but he just doesn't. He's never sold me off as Bond. I want Bond smothered with breasts. I want him to be at death's door because Blofeld is getting ready to carve him up with a laser. I do not like Roger Moore's version of Bond. Too much tongue-in-cheek bullshit. The way he handled not Blofeld, the movie started off on a down foot for me. Fuck you. And fuck you, Broccoli. Fuck you, John Glenn, for letting that get scripted. I didn't like it. The movie gets a 60 out of 100 for me. 3 out of 5 stars. Have a great day.
All right. Hey, you keep it real and honest. All right. Well, red shirt.
Well, can't argue much on toxicity. He didn't boink the figure skater, and she was about ready to just start tearing her clothes off in front of him. So all that would have taken was a wink and a nod, and that would have happened, and it didn't. So for toxicity, no, it's not very. We've certainly seen more toxic films, James Bond films, Sean Connery's, most of Sean Connery's come to mind. So with that dispensed with, I kind of agree with Bruce, but in one sense, I don't think I was put out by Roger Moore's performance here as he was. I think that first of all, I really disliked Moonraker when I saw it, and I disliked it when I rewatched it. I just thought that was a cash grab, trying to play off of Star Wars, and that's James Bond. James Bond doesn't belong in space trying to, ride around in a space shuttle. That just doesn't make sense to me. So this was like a comeback movie for Roger Moore, but there's an ascending trajectory because he's coming off of Moonraker for me, but there's a descending, as Bruce would point out, that he's getting old, and it really is starting to feel difficult to believe that he's going to pull off the physical stunts, the fights, and that sort of thing. And it's kind of like for me, this is a peak. After this, Roger Moore's performances start to go downhill because he's just getting too old, and they need to find another Bond. So I like the story a lot. It's more grounded. It reads more like a spy thriller than a science fiction movie. It doesn't have a lot of the gadgets. And of course, it doesn't have M. As I'm looking at the ministers here, it doesn't have M, which is disappointing, because he was essentially a moribund at this point and couldn't do the role. So it was a changing of the guard with the long-term cast. So those kind of mark it down. But it was probably one of my favorite Roger Moore Bond movies. It's not great compared to other Bond movies. There are ones that I do like better, but I didn't mind this movie. I thought it was a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch. It's got some great set pieces in it. It has her, which, as Jeremy Clarkson once said of Keira Knightley, she's an ironing board with a face, but she works. She's not voluptuous, but oh man, that long hair and the just her whole attitude just was sexy to me. I thought she was a really great Bond girl. Plus, she was a dab hand with a crossbow, and she's one of the most dangerous Bond girls that's ever been. So I'm going to give this one an 8. They toned down Roger Moore's wisecracks and campiness. Putting the Duchevaux into the chase was all the campiness they needed. He didn't have to force it. Where they're racing through the olive grove there with the two cars chasing them at the beginning. So I'd give this an 8. There are other Bond movies I like better. I don't think, and I know for certain it's not a perfect movie at all, but it's not a terrible movie. So 6 for toxicity and 8 for greatness.
All right.
Some pretty high scores coming out here.
Mark.
All right.
And then I'm gonna read off on the remainder of the chat scores, and then
Thank you.
We're gonna slide out tonight.
We'll slide out. Yep. But we did a lot of sliding tonight. But
so slippery.
And
keep your balance.
Calls this movie For Your Thighs Only too, so I got to get that in. So we were talking about For Your Thighs Only because first I think it's a pretty toxic movie just because it's old fashioned Bond, and of course this poster is just so damn toxic too. Today maybe not, but can you imagine 1981 when Tipper Gore is trying to ban your Ozzy Osbourne?
That was until like 84, man.
Yeah, but it's around that time where all that, if you're playing D&D back then, you were getting in trouble, and today no one would give a crap.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mark.
It's gay.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever, right? Yeah. And I love Roger Moore's Bond. I grew up seeing him first, so I'm like, who's the Sean Connery guy? And now I appreciate Sean Connery's take. I agree. He's not, doesn't have that action hero physique, but I think today all the actors are in so much better shape that, looking back at the time, I didn't think about it as a kid, or I didn't realize how old he actually does look now. I mean, he looks pretty damn well preserved for his age, to quote The Trouble with Harry. But I think his performance is really good in this movie. I think, for considering the script, and it's toned down, and they cut the budget and brought it back to earth. And I think that, the action sets in this, and it's a silly, movie about a MacGuffin. They're just chasing this, gadget they've got to recover. But it's also good in the fact that it's not like, they don't have to save the world. It's not some crazy overreaching plot with a madman. It's just a Cold War theme where, it makes sense that the Soviets want to recover this gadget, and the Brits want to get it back to protect their forces. But it's not, an end of the world scenario, although it would be pretty damaging. So, and this makes sense as a spy novel, or a spy caper. You can see Bond, involved in this, and like, the last one, like you said, where he's, as much as I do like Moonraker, he's going up in the space shuttle with sharks as freaking laser beams, relative to this movie. So and he's not, like you said, he's got the Citroen Tuesday, or the rabbit, or the Volkswagen Bug of the French version. The Lotus gets blown up, and I think it's a really good performance by Moore here. He gets the delivery of his quips and really well at those points, but really, I think the action in this movie is some of the best, and some of the Bond sequences. And considering how many action sequences, I mean, not to keep bringing up the Marvels, but you had to suffer through that. What, there's like 2 action sequences or 3?
Did you actually watch the Marvels? Did you pay them money?
Yes, I did. Yeah, because I wanted to review it on my channel.
I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah, there is a lot wrong with me, actually. And
put it against Quantum of Solace. It's no contest.
So there's so much action going on, and look at, you got gorgeous ladies in bikinis walking. There's more toxicity. You can't have that in a movie today.
I really like Melina.
Yeah, she's great, and she's kind of like Elektra assassin, kick-ass villain who's gorgeous.
Think that I think Frank Miller saw this movie and used that. I really do.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
because the similarities are weird.
There. Yeah, I mean, I think overall I give this an A. I mean, it's like a 90. It's not like an A-. It's if I'm back in the old days, if you're flipping through the channels and this came on, Live and Let Die is my favorite Moore movie, and probably one of my favorite Bond movies. But if this came on, I'd pick it up halfway through and watch it. I mean, that skiing scene towards the beginning, that's another phenomenal action set piece too. So there's no bad action sets in this movie. Like, there's nothing that you watch, you say, oh, that was boring to watch. And plus, then watching in the movie theater is just so much better. So toxicity, I'd give it like a 7. He could have been more toxic, but he's still James
some of his
Bond
delivery was very toxic.
Yeah. The way he says everything, and look, you've got a female assassin here too. She's getting her revenge, so that's toxic too. Today she'd have to talk to him and send him to a restorative justice program and make sure that he's out in like 30 days. And she just grabs a crossbow and takes him out. So yeah, that's not happening today either. So it's pretty toxic relative to what we're allowed to do today. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen this, I'd say this is probably the last really good Moore movie. Octopussy, it's fun, but yeah, he's really starting to show his age, and the last movie, forget it. It's embarrassing to see him, in that movie at that age. But this one, I can kind of suspend disbelief and still, he's a little too old, but he still moves around pretty well, I think, and they cover it up. The way they do the stunts, they do a nice job of covering for him. So yeah, I given Roger a thumbs up on this one. So it's good stuff. Plus, it gave us some good clips tonight, right? So
it gave some great clips.
I missed. We didn't talk about the song that was playing during the pool scene.
What song was that?
The groovy one.
Make It Last All Night. Have you ever actually listened to the lyrics of that song?
No.
Did I?
I have them right here.
Why don't you call them up?
All right. Try to hold it down and take it slow and just enjoy the motion. If you just relax and push it back, there is no limitation. Can you feel it inside you? Can you even feel it inside me too? Try to keep it up and ease it in to get that good vibration. If you come too late, you'll have to wait to get that good sensation.
How was that not banned by Tipper Gore?
I love you. Okay. Oh, true. Oh,
I don't know who else is not veiny here, but I'm veiny. That's like really good.
We're rocking at least a half chub, you know.
All right. I'm gonna blaze through these and we're gonna get on out of here. TZ, Toxic 8, overall 9, Carolyn 10, Putin's Cat, Topol Factor 10-10, Deleted Scenes, overall 8, Toxicity 7, TZ Burton, Panel, Toxic 11, Radioactive, overall 7.5, Toxicity 6, Shinatsky, this stream 8 out of 10, homosexuality needs to be gayer. Oh, guys, we got to be gayer. We'll take that. We'll pump it up just for you. Putin's Cat, Panel Gainus 10-10. Mr. Zenden 1993 says, my second least favorite Bond film. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not great. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 with a 9 out of 10 for Toxicity, 9 out of 10 for The Girl. Both thanks to BB. And then Ashton Combs says, overall 9 out of 10 humongous calculators. Yeah, right. Toxicity, 8 out of 10 crossbows. Rob Altus, Toxicity, 7.5. Bond Girls, 8.9. Carson, 7.5. Moore Bond, 4th overall, 8.0. Putin's Cat, Hot German Trainers, 10 out of 10. Villains Not Named Blofeld, 9 out of 10. Oh, that was good. Well said. All right, guys. Thank you for supporting Toxic Tuesday. For your eyes only. Next week, we're going to get a little festive for the season. We'll be talking Trading Places next week. Should be awesome to talk about a classic.
Are we trading places?
Oh, we're trading places. All right. We're going to come.
So it's going to be Backdoor Nick.
What?
My ass needs a break.
Backdoor Nick.
Backdoor Nick.
Good luck, Nick.
Oh, don't worry. We'll make up for lost time when we throw you back in the spot. We'll make up for lost time. Yeah. Thank you for all super chats tonight. Fucking awesome. Thank you for them.
I just flew in from Missouri and boy, is my ass sore.
And for all our loyal suspects, I thank you for continuing to show up to the show week in, week out, Gayness and all. And for the few new faces, I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you felt touched, and I hope you come back for more. And yeah,
and show us on the doll where you got touched.
Trading Places next week on my channel. I posted 2 videos today. Go check them out. And then I will be on Wes from Thinking Critical's Comics Aficionados Saturday morning. Looking forward to that. And of course, you find me at Midnight's Edge After Dark on Thursday. So let's get these gentlemen to plug their plugs on the way out. We're going to start with Dustin.
Keto Simple is my channel. I go live on Tuesdays with the wife at 7:00 Eastern. I go live on Saturdays, time dependent on the guests that I have, usually in the morning time. So if you're interested in that, just check the page. Sunday mornings, I go live at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I put out recipe content, other content related to the ketogenic lifestyle and all that fun stuff. So keep an eye on that if you're interested. Yeah, so I'm also, since Brian's not here, I also do Thursdays most of the time with him and the Rock and Roll Rowdies on their channel. And I pop in from time to time on It's Only Talk and Roll, and I'm here with Nick getting loose on Tuesday nights.
But what do you do with sheep, my friend?
Loose and floppy.
Never have a bad time.
Man.
Mr. Zenitz, let's go. Not sure I'll be catching the next stream, but I'll definitely be around for the next Bondathon. Thanks for the month of laughs and enjoyment and scarring me for life. That was worth it. This whole month was worth it for that one comment. And that was amazing. Seriously, guys. No, Dustin, have a great night, weekend. I got to talk to Conks about getting you on TNT or something. I think you're overdue to come. So we'll talk. All right. And then backdoor Gerry, who will still stay in the
You're
back
overdue
door,
to
even
come.
when he's in the front.
I have been edging for a while, Gary, so watch out.
You're suffering from the blue balls, are you? Hey guys, you guys can always catch me here on Tuesdays with Nick and the guys. This is my favorite day of the week. It really is. I enjoy doing everything I do, but I got to tell you, I have more fun hanging out with you fuckers than anything. On Mondays, I do Military Monday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, talking about military movies or TV shows that I think are worth talking about. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Loki in the morning. So if guys want to watch that, that'll be 9 o'clock Central Time or 8 a.m. Central Time. I'm sorry. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be joining Zach's because I'm seeing Godzilla tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about Godzilla. Plus, I'm going to be talking about my graphic novel, which is obvious. And Mark, please feel free to share that link back
let me
out,
put that in. Yep,
if you don't mind.
Thanks for reminding me.
The campaign is still live. We got to fund this thing. I got to get Bonk paid so he can do his chapter, and it's going to be worthwhile, guys. You're going to love what he does. Let's see, 7 or 8 p.m. on Thursday, I am going to be the first guest for Flip Magazine, Flip City Magazine.
Nice.
They're starting their own YouTube channel, and they're popping their cherry with me. That'll be 8 o'clock.
I hope
Central
you bust
Time.
their cherry. Like I want you to bust it
wide open. I'm going to tear that shit up. No. And then I'm joining some guy named Nick Weiser on Friday. 8:30. He's this weird dude that likes to go do things at the bottom of the hour. That says something. That he likes bottoms.
In, but not all the way in.
In, but not all the way in. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be joining Brandon, the anime guy, and we're going to be talking about anime and plus Vindicated Inc. And then I'm going to be doing more shows the next week. I'm going to be whoring myself out to talk about this damn campaign because I really want it to be successful.
Well, there's only one way you're going to succeed with this, you fucking whore. You got to be a whore.
Got to be a whore.
It. Got to be a whore.
I'll give you around the world for $500. Boy, that better be a good around the world. You get every hole. That's all I'm saying. And that's what I'm the party pooper.
Literally.
Yeah, he banged me so bad I shit the bed. Pulled the Amber Heard.
When I fart, I go, oh.
Yeah. Oh, he's been used too much. Leave him alone. It's like a comedian once said, if I Norm Macdonald who said it, if I'm going to have gay sex, I want to go with the smallest penis in the world, about the size of my pinky, and he comes really quickly, gets it over with.
All right, Gerry, it's been fun. It's been pleasuring. I'll see you in a few nights, sir. Thank you.
Buddy.
And Eric K, thank you for posting the channels in the chat. Let's see. I got
who's next?
All right,
get me off screen.
Yeah.
How do I do it? How do I change it?
Hold on. I got Dustin and I got you. You were at first. I can't remember.
Who came first?
Oh my God! Are those penises?
That looks like dicks.
It looks like a bunch of.
That's
penises.
why D&D got almost banned.
All right, so yeah.
It's heads. That looks really bad from above.
That's a dick. That's a dick demon.
It's actually the false Hydra, which I think it's great that they even made this thing, and it's fucking nightmare fuel for some people. But my name is Bruce, and I have a channel. I've been around for a few years. This week we'll be doing a stream Thursday night with 6 dungeon masters with about 84 years of experience with the game. We're discussing. Actually, no, wait. One of our junior members is going to be running us through his version of Dungeons and Dragons, which is actually Pathfinder, or 3.75 as we call it. And then after that, Saturday normally is a game day, but fuck December, because all of my games get shot to shit, it seems like. Although next week, if you want to see somebody running a customized game, which means rules they've cobbled from other sources and players that really seem to enjoy it, go ahead and swing by Bruce Lombardo 75 on the YouTube. Actually, youtube.com/Bruce Lombardo, and you'll bump into my channel. I do this. I love miniatures. I love games. I'm a big tactician, tactical game fan. And this is everybody's got to have a hobby. You have to have something. And if you don't have something, get it. Figure it out. My name is Bruce. If you have questions, come talk to me in the chat. Thank you.
Give her balls a tug.
Give her balls a tug.
Bruce, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing the comedy. Thank you for bringing a handful of weenies. You have a magical night and weekend. And thank you for being a man who is not ashamed to show off his toys. That's what we love about you.
I love this shit. You guys helped me fucking get primered about that's about 80 Mordor Urukai. And I've held on to these figures for over 20 years. And I'm just now getting ready to put them to use. I fucking love this.
And we get to watch you get your hands dirty, which is very enticing. So it's a double win for us too. So
thank you, sirs.
Thank you. All right, red shirt. Slide it in and then slide out.
Well, yep. I don't have anything that I'm certain of for the rest of the week. I might be on a show on Friday, but I don't know yet. Keep an eye out. Obviously, there's lots of shows on Friday for you to choose from. So keep checking what's live, because there's lots of great shows on there. Next Tuesday, obviously, I'm going to be back here talking about one of my favorite movies from the day, Trading Places.
I like it.
And I'll see all of you then. You all have to come back.
You heard the man. You got to come back.
In the back. In the back.
Yep.
All right. Not just the front, but in the back. Nah, dude, red shirt, it's been fucking fun as always. Every day we do these shows is a day that we're closer to having pizza. And when that day happens, it's going to be diabolically huge.
I will
see
be
you
pizza
soon, sir. All right. Now, Mark.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with. It was great to hang out with you guys tonight. Always awesome. Some great stuff here tonight. And my main show was Sunday Night Geekery on Sunday night. So check out my channel. RK is going to post that, so much appreciated. I have a Doomsday Machine for sale. So let me post that link. Let me grab that.
Yeah, you need to show that off. Show off your penis.
I'm gonna grab turn my camera on. Yeah, let me set my camera up here. Yeah, let's see.
Mark C with the big D. Oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah. I don't know why is the camera. Of course, the camera's not working now. What's going on? Go figure, right? Come on.
Once you go black, you don't go back.
Yeah, here we go. Let's all right. So here's my big Doomsday Machine.
Look at the size of your horn.
Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Let me grab the Hallmark is selling. It's a cornucopia of horns, yeah. So Amazon.
Now is that the 3D printed one?
That's 3D printed.
I
Yeah,
heard about
3D
this
printed and painted.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Does it have a light?
I didn't light it, but I just painted it as best I could. Maybe one I'll do with an LED.
They should leave a spot so you can put a light inside to shine out the front. That'd be so badass.
That would be cool. Yeah, throw an LED. It's with LEDs. It's so easy now too to do it. So, yeah, I got to get an LED. And there's actually a new Hallmark ornament out now. Micro Enterprise.
Yeah. It's scale.
Which is like almost the perfect scale.
Yes,
for this.
it is. It's scaled. Look at that.
Perfect. Yeah. So you can buy this Hallmark ornament.
Is there a miniature Commodore Decker in there?
There's a miniature Kirk they sell this year, but not a Decker. Yep, it's kind of there you go. But Hallmark's selling these for $10. And the nice thing, I had it on on Amazon sent me 4. I bought 1, and they sent me a box of 4, because this is a retail box. They're supposed to take 1 out, but I'll have to go to confession, but don't rat me out. But I got 4 for the price of 1. But yeah, so I'll post a link in there. So I'm selling these. There's 2 versions. This is the really big D one, and a smaller one, a little bit smaller. But yeah, it's fun hanging out with you guys. And as you can see from my background here, I do a lot of comic book and toys, Star Trek, Star Wars, that kind of stuff. So I appreciate anyone who checks out. And I just hit 1,000 subs too, so thank you for everyone who subbed to the channels and watching. Thank you to you guys for your
Congratulations
for that milestone. Yep, thank you very much.
Absolutely, dude. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Appreciate it. Yep,
Making that D bigger each episode. Love it.
yeah, got to keep bigger. Yeah, I gotta pay for the kids' college somehow, right?
Hold
So,
on. No, you're not getting bigger. You're embiggening.
I'm
You're
Embiggening. All right.
I'm
Mark,
embiggening in more ways than one, unfortunately. But yeah,
thank you for embiggening the show. Thank you for all the clips, the slideshow, for everything you do. Guys, go sub to Mark D with a C. He has absolutely earned the sub and then some. You have a great night, week, and weekend, and I'm going to pay you a visit soon at the Geekery, and I promise it's going to happen sooner, much rarer than later. I promise when I say I will come.
looking forward to that. Yep.
Hi, CC. Thanks for joining tonight. It's been a fucking blast.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, you're
I'm
welcome
CC
back
Karaoke.
on, man. What you ever want to come back
I'm the
on,
best.
just let me know.
Anytime. Looking forward to it. I'm the best karaoke brand in the world. I take pride in that. If you sing karaoke and you're searching for a karaoke song and I have it, and you sing somebody else's song, well, that's your choice, I guess, as a human being, to sing shit because you're not singing my brand. I take pride in that, and I stand by it because I'm the fucking best in the world. The Last Jedi brought me into this fantastic community, and I'm still kind of like, what the fuck am I even doing here? How did I get onto these panels? And what is this thing? Like, why? Like, you know, there's probably 1,000 people who'd like to be here, but yet somehow I'm here. So that's really awesome. And thank you for having me here. Because it's been a great lot of fun. Best time of my life, honestly, the last couple years.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's fucking awesome, bro. Dude, no. Thanks for being here. You will definitely be back on here soon. It'll be great. And I can't wait to listen to more karaokeing as I knock out on Friday nights. Have a great rest of your evening and rest of your week. I'm sure I'll see you on Meet in a few nights.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
then,
Tuesdays
sir,
and Thursdays. You can catch us on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
That's right. Until then, sir. And Mr. CJP, I'm so glad you came back, and I hope that the third time will be even huger and gayer.
Well,
Plug
I'll
your
at least be
channel.
loosened up by then.
All right,
I
well,
won't be as tight.
all right, well, I need you to be fucking virgin tight when it comes to the third time. Plug your plug.
Yeah, I'm CJP. I host a show called The Forgotten One Cast, which Mr. Nick has been on before. So it's a music podcast. We talk all things music on Thursdays at 7 Central. Well, I'm not doing the show this week because I've got some family obligations I got to take care of. So instead, I'm going to premiere the second of the Castlevania soundtracks using the Golden Eye sound font. So it's the entire Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest OST, but with the Golden Eye sounds. Which I did the first one. I just did Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear, and so and of course I've got all the Bond themes, so you can actually listen to all the Bond themes done as the Watch from GoldenEye. So I think I'm 30. I'm the 62 subs and 43 watch hours away from being monetized. So I'm like right on the rim of that.
So you go rimming. That's
Little bit.
good. That's good. I like that. Thank you, RK, for playing this channel, guys. Go sub to CJP for Forgotten One Music. He has a fun channel, and I want him to come back on here to unleash more toxicity with us, sir.
Oh yeah.
And to you, have a great night and week and weekend. And we will cross paths again sooner than later. All right, guys. This is the part where we say the bar is closed and it's time to get the fuck out of here. We're not even going to do the Toxic Tuesday intro outro. We're just going to say this as we say good night. Once again, thanks for supporting Toxic Tuesday. Next week, Trading
still here?
Places.